Then, ladies and gentlemen, let's officially get started with the Bone Spirit. Today, I recrafted some items. I got the helmet with the 24 max resource. I got an offhand with 23 max resource because on the test server, I have 1.7 billion gold and 6,000 angel breath to reroll like crazy. We're going to do one pit now with this current iteration of the build. And then we're going to be re-rolling the Paragon board because I need more max life and I can't have that with the current Paragon board. We do have some max life here. We have some max life there. So we're okay off at this point. But I feel there is more that I could weasel out. And I'm not really happy with some of the routes we've been taking. So we're going to drink now this potion to boost us up to 37k. We're having our lats probably die some. Because that's like one of the problems right now with the way we have the Paragon board. That we need to... get them a bit more sturdy. Like, not much. Just a tiny bit more sturdy. Boop. God, I love you, Bone Spirit. The only problem isn't stays the essence generation, right? That you're... Oh, someone on the slower end. See, one of my skeletons died, and this is, like, not allowed to happen. The Reapers are not allowed to die. Why are we playing the Reapers over the Defenders? Because the Defenders have the problem that versus bosses, they're not really giving us enough corpses. And we need some corpses to like summon the Reapers in between, to summon our Flash Eater node. So that's the thing. But we are like vastly more tanky with the current version of this. I changed some aspects around and we're essentially boosted our defense to be even more scary. Who doesn't like a good defense, right? Oh, cute. Look, you wanted to fight and now you're dead. Pull everything together and... So the gameplay loop is just working plenty well, right? Let's get everything together. Considering that we do not have like the Crown of Lucian, essentially, which is going to make this build broken, we're pumping like out so much damage that I'm just unconditional happy with what we're doing. But if I now had the Crown of Lucian, right, things would even be more scary. You know what helps the most? I think I figured it out. Like I've been wondering why I'm surviving so much easier, right? Why is it so much easier to get away with everything I do? And it's like that the Bone Prison essentially allows me to separate threats for at least the initial engagement, that everything is that everything is kind of like stuck up and can't like hurt me straight away. And then we're essentially like transitioning into the battle phase where we start nuking. But until then, you're like in a position where you just don't get overwhelmed, right? So you curse this, you pull this together, right? I can just stand right at the outside of this without being in danger. And then I can like move in if I need to. Like, right? Engage like this, pull them together. Because your skeletons walk in and make the first corpse. Also a reason why you want the Reapers. So they essentially make the first corpse. If they then make the first corpse, we can already pull things together and start nuking away. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just kill you in the corner because I don't like you. We do take some damage in between, but nothing like too severe. Oh, you didn't die? That's mean. My skeletons died again. You notice this? Like that there's a bit of a death of the poor skelly boys happening. And that's something we need to prevent in the long run. That the skeletons essentially have like no chance of dying. Because if the skeletons die, that's like essence lost, but not the point. It's literally me having to waste time to resummon them. And that's always annoying. You just don't want to. You want them to just be there. And I think I found an easy way to do this. Like by swapping the Paragon board to essentially get some more death bone, some more Debt Razor Paragon glyph going, which I'm currently not actually playing the Debt Razor. I missed out on that. Such a nice damage multiplier, but another 14% as well. 14? 12? 12%. 12? Yeah. The monsters are getting deleted, yes, and we're just making lobby content, right? So this build can do more. This build essentially did already, I think, a 150 plus. So you can go deep into the pit the better your gear gets. And that's the interesting part about Bone Spirit, right? Some builds are just essentially limited, right? They won't go further. Bone Spirit is one of these builds. The better gear you get, just the more insane you can go with it. Right? Like it's literally like incredible how much harder it can push with a continuous improval of gear. What I do see though is that the build will not be fun for everyone because it is a so-called setup build. Because you gotta walk in, right? I gotta curse, own prison, pull things together, recurse, kill things. So it's not like I don't go in blasting, right? I don't fling around my spells. I do this slow, methodical approach where I am blasting still, yes, but it's not like this kind of blasting that the people want, right? They want to throw their bone spears in and that's it. They don't want to. Oh wow, where did my spirit go multiple times now? They don't want to be this responsible acting. Let's see if he's bugged. Yep, bugged. Okay, kill me. So we die one time. And we go back in again. The features of the PDR. K is thing with 82 months. Einkaufs Studio thing with 39 months. Welcome back, you two gentle people. Hope you're doing well. The best part, look at my fortify. So my minions are attacking, okay? And they have a chance to essentially give me fortify. Which I absolutely need, because I need as much fortify as humanly possible. Not just a little bit, I need all the fortify. One, two, three, four, five. I just lost all my fortify. And thing is dead. And when you're fighting, you can essentially just not spam the cooldown. You gotta like do the right rotation, right? Do the corpse tendrils, do the race skeletons, do the bone prison to get the maximum amount of damage out. Can't you fix the boss by starting the fight and staying outside so it resets? You can, but you could also just walk in and die. I mean, right? What's faster, waiting for that reset or just walking in and quickly dying? Done. I heard the going in, but I just literally, you know, I just literally walk forward and death. Okay, I need this one here upgraded to 10. I think then I get more essence per second. And you've seen now how I not always go fully back to full essence, which is a bit of a nuisance, but also something you can't really fix. Now let's refund this Paragon board because I wasn't 100% happy with the get up, right? This is roughly what we choose to do. Are they going to be playing Exploit or we're going to be playing Gravekeeper? Because Gravekeeper works with all the corpses we have close by. So we might just play Gravekeeper. Not sure if I want to play it here because it only boosts my armor. So that's a bit of a eh. Let's do the Bone Graft board. Good. Need the essence glyph. Out here, up there. And And this one goes into the Blood Begets board. Oh, you don't need that one boosted. Wait, where's my Blood Begets? No, wait. That's the wrong way in. Almost made an oopsie doopsie, Chad. Because the Blood Begets you can get easier in. And that would be from this side. And you would go here to get another life bonus. You're essentially going to yoink the Amplify Glyph, and the Amplify Glyph boosts all of this, right? More overpower, and more intelligence. Now we need only another 10 more. And go down here. I wonder if I could get rid of these 3 points. So now I need 10 intelligence more, right? So I would either go 1, 2, 3 points up here, or I go 1, 2, 3 points, and I get a boost of willpower too, and another blood orb healing, which I don't need the blood orb healing. That's not the point, right? But we get 17 willpower instead of like some more dex boosted. Might be useful. It's a bit of an iffy to get in here, right? There is nothing good. You could technically try to go from up there, but if I go from up here, I still have to go, like, right? I have to go into this and to there. So it's like in both cases a bit stupid. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to go out on the left, and we're going to go the cult leader board. And this is what I said about keeping my minions alive, because you want your minions to stay alive, and you can actually take the Debt Razor Glyph. The Debt Razor Glyph is another 15% damage multiplier. But that's it. You're not doing more, right? We're literally just taking the Debt Razor Glyph as we go in there. We're just got to find a way how to take the Debt Razor Glyph here a bit better. So you don't want to waste too many points. We could technically ignore this summoning. Wait, can we ignore the summoning damage? I mean, it's 10 end, right? If I go out on this side, that's stupid. You kind of need that end here. There's no way. I'm just checking how I did this on my other board. Well, I guess the best way is actually to go in from this side. So we get like this 3 intelligence points, and then just, yeah. That might sadly be the best way to actually do this. Just don't see another option. All right, that's Debt Razor, 15%. Where can you find this build? Oh, we have a couple of videos about this build already, but this is right now the actual new version of the build that we're trying to see if it could be any good. So we got Debt Razor, we have Essence, we have Amplify. This one is going to be Flesh Eater. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like, I would be interested, like if I go 6 down, right? I can go here. Oh, they changed this to life per second. What? This is not percentage life anymore? It used to be like, wow, okay. Everyone get changed. That's wild. That's wild. Alucard, think of those 60 months of sport. They used to be 4% more life. Huh. That stings. I'm decisively unhappy. That's ultimate. Oh, they changed this to ultimate damage. Huh. Useless as well. I just noticed this. Like it used to be like some. Okay, that one is altered too. Wow. The small things you didn't even notice before. Big yikes. We need a corporal. I guess 25 end, 30 end. This would activate the board as good as it goes. Right? A la carte. Maybe the 16. That brings us to 46 points left. And with 46 points left currently, we essentially have to activate another glyph. Yes, we have to activate another glyph. And we have to still get Dominate. So, I mean, we get Gravekeeper activated. We could get Control, but I'm not a big fan of Control right now. We have Amplify going on. We have Corporal going on. We're technically playing Exploit every now and then. I don't like Exploit. Like, technically, I would want to have another... Like, I want a glyph that I could, like, so easily activate without bothering for more, right? So that's why you kind of have to play Exploit to a degree. Even though it's annoying, because you can just go through without, like, bothering much. Now, Sin of Death is missing as the final one. The way to go into Sin of Death would be this way, with a 4% more life. But I don't think it's actually worth it to consider that. As good as that 4% more life is, it's just easier to still walk into the board like this. Dominate glyph. Currently, like, minimum activated, so I don't want to boost it too far, right? I just want to get it activated because I'm essentially missing 10 points right now to make it all the way here. So I gotta make it to this one. Thing is, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is vastly cheaper, but we would be missing out on, like, we get the 2% more max life, right? The damage while fortified. Could walk into this and only 3 more points. The 3 more points right now would be these 3 more points. You could take more max life and more max life. This is stretching it so thin. Currently. I'm not sure if this leads to better results overall. And my resistances are scuffed, which is kind of funny. That would fix itself by allocating, you know, more willpower, because that would literally boost my resistance there. Or I could just simply take the resistance here, right? So this is just like 3 points and you get it. So instead of having like the node here not even working, you could just go and like get the working node here. If I then wanted to, I could also just allocate more into willpower. So when we're going through the board here, right? You would have to find every single willpower over other nodes. Right, where we go here through a bunch of intelligence, the intelligence of willpower, to boost it even further. A couple of there's like a couple of willpowers we could be taking for sure. That would make this a tad better. Here's another 1 willpower. Like simple pathing for a bit more. But let's see. Is still the test over? Yes. What's your thought on the Bloodwave build? We already have a Bloodwave build, and the Bloodwave build is incredible. It does so good. It's so much fun. It's probably my favorite build this season, but it's just not strong enough, right? There's still things missing, and that's the sadness. Like, despite the Bloodlands being buffed, it is still not there. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Bam. And that's unacceptable, right? They actually get so much buffed. It gets so much enhanced. And yet, despite being so much buffed and enhanced, we're still at the spot where it's it's somewhat lacking. And that's just not cool. And it's a little bit down to how the skills work per se, how overpower works per se. When I've literally like did everything to boost it to the max, like in perfection, and yet it's like it's getting punished by the new pit mechanic. So again, the new pit mechanic where you now get multiplicative more damage whenever you get hit by a boss echo, because a Bloodlands build profits from essentially standing still and shooting out as many Bloodlances as possible with crazy amounts of attack speed. But well, what happens in the current boss fight if you're standing still, right? What happens? It'll raid me. Oh yeah, you get bamboozling blasted, right? by that stupid bonus boss echo shebang, whatever. And that's kind of like not what we wanted. We didn't want to get, you know, like punished for playing a build that needs to stand still to spam away. So that's a bit of a I got the more overpowered damage, and I like the more overpowered damage, but what I don't like is the lack of resource gen that comes with it. Makes me so unhappy. Oh, you just ate my... Let me curse away. Why am I just cursing away? Just in case you wonder. It's literally to reduce cooldown. So if you ever come to the point where your Bone Spirit didn't crit and your Bone Spirit weirdly fizzled out, right? Then you can just literally spam away your curse to get the cooldown back. It's actually really handy and really neat. Kind of cute feature, not gonna lie. Can we pull them all together for a sec? For Jiffy. Oops. Welcome, Ronan. Thank you very much for the brand new subscription. Crazy to see like so deep into the season, still new people coming to the channel. I know a lot of people are just discovering Diablo in its full breadth, scope, scale, and fun, because they have either not had it before or didn't give it a proper chance because it felt lacking, which it did. You know, the Diablo has been lacking. There's nothing like we need to hide here. But we're recovering, right? We're bounding, coming back to action. Koopa, thank you for the 18 months. Howdy. Also, welcome back from vacation to myself. Good to see you all there. Usually we don't stream on Saturdays, and my children were actually, you know what day today is, Dad? Today's Saturday, so you're not going to stream, right? You're not going to work. And I was like, about that. You know, we've literally been on vacation now for 7 days, and they're like, okay, we got so much dad time. We need more dad time. Like children. Things cost money. We try to tell them. Grüß aus dem Norden von Deutschland. Moin. Ronan, schön, dass du da bist. So yeah, they know dad is earning money so we can buy things, right? And then when I need to do tax, I literally tell them that I need to do tax because I don't want to go to jail. So literally, I need to do tax today, guys. Why do I need to do tax today? So I don't go to jail. And they're already aware of the situation, right? You gotta do tax. It's important. Where do you go on vacation? We have been to Greece, and Greece was very good. I mean, it was our first time now with the children to the Greek islands. And it was quite good. I mean, we found a nice hotel which had an adjacent aqua park, so that was obviously really cool for the tiny ones. Even though I have to say again, other children are terrible. I hate other children, right? Like, you know, especially when you're in a situation where you need to look out for the smaller ones and the bigger children suck. Right? We have like 12-year-olds that don't pay goddamn attention, and I have to essentially bully children again. so they don't like slide into my children, right? Have to play big back wolf. This is why you're orange. Hey, I'm not Trump. I'm brown, at least brownish. Okay, so now we have to backtrack everything because right now the current pit doesn't spawn enough enemies. Another thing why the PDR is quite frustrating. So this is something they need to fix because right now I went through level 1, right? I went through level 2 and I more or less killed everything on the way apart from the one or the other straggler, but not to the point where I should be like having to walk all this way back right now to find these last opponents. And these last opponents will then magically fill up the bar despite not being enough to actually fill up the bar. See, like right now the bar is actually not full, but it's enough. Okay, chat keeps telling me I need to do this, right? And I need to wait for the fight to reset. When's the fight gonna reset? Then the boss works? Or is he still bugged? No, he's not bugged. Okay, that's cool. He's also the perfect enemy for this thingy here. Why is he the perfect enemy for this thingy? Because oh, you just saw what happened to him, right? He actually stands in the middle of everything and just gets pummeled. If you tried the Bloodseekers aspect, I'm trying to find a way not to have armor and boots, but I guess it's not possible. The Bloodseekers. Which one is the... I saw your question, but I wasn't sure. Bloodseeker. Bloodlance deals increased damage to its primary part. That's useless because it doesn't work against bosses. So Bloodseekers would be cool if it would actually count per lance and not per lance target. So if it literally reads Bloodseeker per lance, right? So the more lances you have, the more damage you do to the main target. That would be amazing. That would instantly actually fix any issue that Bloodlance has. Sadly, it doesn't say that. Okay, this should go from 9 essence to 10 essence per second. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, 10 essence per second. Okay, the build is doing great. I just need another Stygian stone to nuke something. The problem is I don't even have boss materials to right now kill any bigos. Right, I have some ags, some shards. I don't think I have any steel on any character right now. Would have to. No, I don't think any of my characters has steel on it. Let me actually check if any of the. I might just be having enough steel. Check. That's the fun part, that they're giving us all the characters, right? Some more shards. Oh, with all the shards, I should be able to summon Durio, right? Wait, did I see that correctly? If I take the... Yeah, no, I need one more egg. I have shards, gold, shackled. I got Vartians. I got 2 more Stygian stones. That's actually really good. So we can nuke some more of these. Wait, I think I have some more. Let me quick check. That's Mary Potter. That was Robo Granny. Where is... That's Mama Bear. Where's my rogue? Mommy. Let's show that Blizzard clowns this time to listen to us. Oh, they do listen to us every time. Aish. I mean, we have to be fair. The latest iteration of the... latest iteration of the test server has always been a success. They have been always listening. So that like you can't say they're not listening, because they are. Right? Alarin, thank you very much for the Prime support. Alarin, good to see you there, brother. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget, chat, soon you're gonna get also Shadow of the Earth Tree from me. So can't wait to actually give you some content in that direction as well. Okay, now we do have something to summon at least some bosses, right? There's another Stygian Stone. There's more. We could do... Oh, there's more Pincushion Doll. We can actually do an Endariel. Yes. We can do one Endario. Let's go. They clearly listen only for Barb. I like the thing is that Barb is right now Barb is the main thing in Diablo, right? I mean, Diablo 4, like if you want to have an easy time, if you want to feel powerful, you play Barb. That makes all the others feel bad. But it makes Barb feel good. So if you want to feel like super powerful and strong, you just play Barb. I know that's not a solution in any capacity, right? That's not helpful. But the reality is, if you do want to feel powerful, what you can do is you're gonna slap your Barb out and you're gonna play your Barb. And you better goddamn enjoy it, you little shit. Right? Don't want to hear anything. Pull that Barb out. Is Golem Summoner still the top Necro? No. Golem still works. It might be that Skeletal Mages is actually better. That's what we're going to try too. Skeletal Mage build. Because I get buff as well. But no, Golem is not the strongest anymore. They nerf Blight. It might still not be final, right? We are still getting the real Season 5 patch notes. The real Season 5 everything. Things can still change. Come here. Come to daddy. Now I'm going to let my minions kill everything. But why am I going to let my minions kill everything? Because when my minions kill things, what happens? They're giving me fortify. Look at my fortify. You know what the interesting part is? So your minions now have a chance to get you fortify. Okay? So my bone prison counts as minions. Yes. So if my bone prison does damage with the splinters, okay, I get fortify. Can you believe that, chat? If my bone, okay, listen, if my bone prison does damage with its splinters, I get fortify from that. I don't think you heard me, chat. With how stupid that is. That was Endario, by the way. Oh, bone prison, come on. Oh. Oh, I need to resummon my lads. Oops. I need to resummon my lads. This build won't hit live. This build is the intended build. So, like when you're saying not strong enough, you literally don't understand that Blizzard wants this build to. This is the seasonal build. This is what they want you to play. Right? This is literally what they intend for you to have fun with. Just let me check my notes. That's the build. Found. Okay, let's see what we're getting. That's a normal Godslayer crown. That's a Tybald's Will at least. But still not the new Tybald's Will. I can't actually wait to see the new items, like all the updated items, right? It's going to be intriguing to kind of like find out how nasty they will get. It's going to be an interesting one. Let's teleport out and let's kill Gregoire. 47th Centuries Fairy, good to see you there, brother. Hope life has you well and good. Does the pet still count as a minion too? No, the pet as a minion got fixed. So this build is essentially meant to be the seasonal S tier build. Like, I don't know if you understood this to this point, but Blizzard essentially creates or wants to be their one super S tier build always per season. And they're pushing different scenarios. And this season, like, they're pushing this like crazy. Bone Spirit gets so hard. I mean, alone the aspect of Bone Spirit for Bone Spirit to explode twice, it's just redonkulous times 10. Necro's in the new class releases. I still play Necro when the new class releases, but I obviously play the new class as well. Right? It's going to be a new class, so you'd be stupid for not playing it, right? And alone for just having a different experience. This PDR, yes. So here my Bone Spirits are hitting, and look, my Bone Spirit, my Bone Spear thingies are actually giving me Fortify. Such a funny interaction. Give me more Fortify. Bone Splinters. Landslide Druid is crazy as well. Well, Landslide Druid is already on the nerf list because it's simply the interaction is not intended. But did I not pick up the Living Steel? So what Landslide Druid does is that's a bug, right? This build is simply strong because it's strong, correct? And like, in order to actually get this strong, like, right? In order to get this strong, maximum resource greater affix, macabre scales, essence per second greater affix, 1, 2 uniques, 3 uniques, a max roll needed, you know, critical strike chance needed beyond belief, because if you don't have enough critical strike chance, you're not critical striking. So this build needs you to have like so much to even have it like remotely good. Whereas other builds, like they literally just need to have a weapon in hand and they're already strong, like the Golem build used to be, right? So this build is powerful, but it's powerful only if. So funny to hit like with high-powered Bone Spirits. Hey, you just avoided my Bone Spirit. Uncool. Yeah, I wanted to say, like, how did you avoid getting blasted there, nerd? Okay, did I just get 4 boots? 4 boots? I mean, they better have, like, there better have been, like, you did not give me 4 Penitent Greaves now, right? You better didn't give me 4 Penitent Greaves, because that would be crazy if you did that, right? We're not going to be throwing hands. We're going to be throwing hands. But Sorks don't even have the powerful only if anymore. See, like the Sorks, I kind of feel for. They got some new stuff with like their chain lightning things. I do think we have to wait to see all the unique overhauls, right? So this is something we truly need. You only have 4 minions for this build. Yes, you don't need more. Well, like wait. Okay, so you don't need more, but listen. So we're playing you gain 7 maximum essence per active minion. Okay, that means my essence is already higher. We're currently sitting at a total of 184. Actually, like here, we're sitting at 212 essence. Okay. Now, if I cast the Bone Prison, I'm at 282 essence, because Bone Prison counts as a minion, and every Bone Prison gives me bonus essence. So, like here again, boom, full essence. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. And especially if I now cage these dudes in and the Bone Prison hits things, we're actually at tons of essence, right? And it lasts for 10 seconds. And the crazy part is that these tons of essence we're getting right now are not even max, because my Boots of Trag'Oul are currently sitting at 23 out of 30 splinters. Right? Too bad Blizzard doesn't make all builds equal in power. how do I say this now? The problem with making all builds equal in power is that some builds are just like, so you're looking at Blood Surge, correct? Blood Surge says, Blood Surge Nova damage is increased by 5% per enemy drained up to 50%. That is a significant part of Surge's damage. The only way how to change this would be Blood Surge Nova damage is increased by 5% per enemy drained up to 50%. And if only one enemy is drained, the damage is increased by 30% or something like this, right? That's the biggest problem. That there is no like or end, if, then else. Surge is meant as a destroyer of masses, but is never meant to fight one single opponent unless we would change something, right? The same kind of with damage over time. Now, if Blizzard doesn't have like a change in spirit there, oh, there you go. I wanted to nuke him with a beautiful one shot. Hi, lads. Quickly need to spend the essence here. So we can almost kill him like with like just this, right? If I just do this, it almost just kills him like from alone. And then a whisper, because I haven't seen like whisper caches on the server yet. We're exploring Zoo Druid. A Zoo Druid didn't seem interesting at all. Druid in general didn't seem interesting at all. Right? We'll have to see what season 5 brings to it. I wasn't really impressed by Druid in season 4. It was fun to play, so I didn't hate it, but I was certainly not enthused, super happy, like clapping my hands and singing praise. That was not what we were feeling there. Have I done? Oh yeah, we still need to quickly do Andariel. We need to go and see how Lilith feels. They do anything to mommy? And I know you can kill her with this build, so it's not a question of if, it's just like how harsh is it gonna be? They have crit chance on my, yeah, I have crit chance on mine. Does Zir still have a higher chance of dropping Uber items than any boss? Oh, I don't think they fixed that. But Nisto. That being said, Nisto, we are at the 29th of July. You have 30 days of the season left. So sure, you might be getting more Uber uniques right now, but you know, it's the last 30 days of the season. Don't break your back to get something that goes eternal in 30 days.
I need time to do that.
Was playing Elden Ring DLC. I can't wait to start with the Elden Ring DLC, slow and steady. Make a bunch of characters ready. Do you think it's worth switching playstyle already at level 100? Oh, absolutely. Hidden Pie. I mean, I tend to pick up a bunch of items that could be beneficial for different kinds of builds when I play, essentially, right? That when I reach a certain point. Oh, we just got her phase 1 done. Hey chat, that was phase 1. Cool. I got hit by something and I don't like it. My minions are getting killed and I don't like it. I'm getting killed and I don't like it. I could stagger her, like I could keep this stagger, right? For the very last fancy moment now. That you're essentially having her go here Stagger. Oops. Okay, I'm happy we just nuked her out of the phase 1. I don't even know how much damage that was, but we just literally nuked her in the phase 1, so that was good. Can we one-hit the Blood Maiden? We could probably one-hit the Blood Maiden. So that's all working exactly how we wanted. I'm having the gear for it, so it's farming all over again. See, this is Hidden Pie why I truly believe in, how do I say this now? In like taking a very forward approach when you're farming things, that you're essentially like always looking for the gear for certain builds. That's obviously the problem when you get aware of certain builds becoming good later on. So as I was pushing the level, I was already picking up essence per second and macabre skill items, right? Because I knew this is going to be good. So that's a little bit like be prepared as you're going forward. The same goes for the golem mastery chest and stuff like that, correct? Oh, great. That dude is standing like there and blocking all my attempts at killing things, right? Wow, it was probably the slowest start ever into the dungeon proper now, right? Goddamn weirdos. Yeah, that's what you get for being goddamn weirdos. Oh, we gotta kill everything. We learned it the hard way that when you're literally ignoring a pocket of minions, right? You're gonna reach the end of the dungeon, and right now, due to the pit being buggeroonied, you're gonna reach the end of the dungeon, and then you gotta backtrack everywhere to kill the last pocket of enemies that you have missed. Not the last enemy, just the last pocket of enemies. Pull them all together, nuke them all around. Do 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 do. Despite having so high gear requirements, though, this is by far the most fun build to play. Especially when you then have the gear. It gets so illegal, right? With the double bone spirit explosions, like it's not even fun anymore for your opponents what you're able to do to them, due to how the build like literally outscales everything. It's also sad that no other Necro build from a damage output can keep up with this. Simply due to the fact on how crazy Bone Spirit scaled. And they literally gave it a double explosion. They're like, hey, so I heard you like Bone Spirit. So how about we give you a new aspect that makes the Bone Spirit that you so like, that is so strong. How about we give that a thing that makes it explode twice? Yeah, you heard right. Why wouldn't we do that? And the answer is maybe because it's like already super brutal and now you're just gonna make it explode twice? No. I mean, zero complaints though, right? Like I can set this in, it goes boom boom, and then it goes boom boom. Love it. What about Bone Spear in Season 5? Bone Spear has the same problem that Bloodlands has. How do you do damage with Bone Spear? Surprise, you stand still and you launch Bone Spears, right? But the problem with standing still and launching Bone Spears is which problem? Well, that you gotta stand still and launch Bone Spears. What happens when you stand still and launch Bone Spears? The echoes are gonna potentially hit you. And if you're avoiding all the echoes, you're gonna get way less DPS because, let me check my notes. Oh yeah, you're not standing still and spamming Bone Spear. Which then leads to you having vastly less DPS than with other builds, right? So and that leads then all to a more than suboptimal playstyle that doesn't actually go for max damage. So yeah, short things short, long things long, just like your love life. It will work. And the new Crown of Lucian plus the Lochran's Amulet, which are currently a bit overscaling, will make it even better. I mean, right now I miss tons of damage because I don't have the crown. the crown would be another 125% damage multiplier. Right now, my helmet is giving me a 21% damage multiplier. Now let's check what would be better. A 125% damage multiplier on all the damage I'm currently dealing, or a 21% damage multiplier on all the damage I'm dealing. So yeah, that crown is currently a bit crazy, especially since it will be a mandatory item. So if the crown stays the way it is right now, right? If they decide, you know what, we like the crown, we think the crown should be this OP, that's okay. Just tell us up front, right, that this is what you want. And if that is what they want, then that's going to be the item to play in every build. In Minion Necro, in Bone Spirit Necro, in Bone Spear, in literally every build. It's like the Harlequin Crest used to be the #1 stop shop for everything. So if you wanted to have your build be like Giga S tier, you needed the Harlequin Crest. That's going to be the Crown of Lucian. Could the crown be used in the Summoner build? Yes. I didn't include it in the Summoner build simply because I didn't want to force in another unique, right? But the crown would be a 125% damage multiplier also to your golem. So you would essentially do more golem damage as well with that. Oh, do we have enough now? Chat, do we have enough now, or do I have to backtrack everything again? I probably have to backtrack everything again, right? Mm-hmm. There a pocket of enemies hidden here? No? Ah, yikes. And we gotta backtrack everything. No, wait, you might be enough. Come on, boys. Die for me. Bleed for me. You might be just getting just about enough to maybe make it. Oh yeah, that's it. You're the answer to my prayers. Thank you very much. Put him in the middle. This is a real problem, by the way. So what happened right now? He's in the middle, correct? But he's actually not in the middle. That means that my actual like cool bone spear spirit thingy, my bone spirit, like giving me bonus essence thing, is not working. Because he's not really in the middle. Also, he's currently overscaling, so we needed to die. I always forget about that death that we need. So yeah, now that he's then really in the middle, we can then get more essence. But if he walks like even slightly off kilter, right? If he slightly walks out of the middle, well, that's a bummer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wow, really? I just got myself nuked like this. Oh, it felt bad. The crown will be nerfed. Remember Frozen Orb? The crown will be nerfed, and every creator is pushing for the crown to be nerfed. So keep that in mind, that the Crown of Lucian that I don't have, like, it's very powerful, and it's nice to have this powerful item. I don't know what you hit me with. But every creator is also actively pushing for the crown to be nerfed. So don't worry. We as the creators, we like power fantasies as much as you do. Like, well, that was a 700 million. So we're all happy about getting strong shit, right? But we want strong shit that makes sense. We don't want like overly super strong, like crazy mambo jambo. So don't worry. The creators are pushing back as well. We're actively telling Blizzard to please be there. You're struggling with 101? No, we're not, War Daddy. I'm just dying because I, you know, walk around there and get hit. We only have 37,000 life. I wish I could weasel out more HP, but right now I haven't found a way to weasel out a bit more. I could lower the damage to essentially get another 2 and a 2% node. It's a bit sad that I can't take the bonus life. There used to be a bonus life node here as well. There's technically even more max life here in these to take. What we're truly missing is that tenacity. Like tenacity, this node here should be swapped out with any of these, that we actually have a max life node that we can boost up. Because Rogue has this max life node, right? Rogue has this very cool max life node that he can multiply upwards from 9% to 18%. Yes, you heard right, from 9 to 18%. And that's something that we're missing as a Necro. We have no max life node that we can boost upwards, which is a bit sad. So I really would like to have a max life node that I could boost upwards. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly. Correct? So the crown we're talking about is currently this for the people that haven't seen it yet. Let's pull it on. Ah, here. Crown of Lucian. It says, each time you spend primary resource on a skill, you gain 25% increased damage for 4 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. There's more to it, but it's, again, 125% damage. Just like that. Brilliant. Okay, we have 2 Infernal Compasses. I kind of want to do a higher tier Infernal Compass thingy. So let's go into the Helltide and get a little bit of Infernal Compasses together. What did they add? Torment boss stacks to the pit bosses. Most people seem to hate that. The reason they added that is there is no reason. So they wanted to make the pit harder because reasons, I guess. There is an ongoing theory. So why did they add this, chat? Why did they make the pit harder? Well, you know which character class could stay completely AFK in boss fights and never have to move? Barbarian. You know what happens now if Barbarian tends to stay completely AFK in a boss fight and not move? Well, it would actually die, right? Because you can do this. You would be eating the boss echoes and then you would die. So in order to have Barb, the 1 OP class that's anyways OP, be not so strong as it is right now, they decided to just screw everyone else over once again. And that's right now how it feels. Because no other class could stay AFK more or less in any high pit tier level on the boss fight and just not move. But Bard. What do you think about Necromanians with shield? You're about to finish on hardcore. I mean, you can play it. It does way less damage, but hey, you got a shield, so congratulations, you're safer. I'm like, hardcore doesn't apply to me and my thought process in any way, because obviously it's hardcore. You need to take bonus measures. So if you want to play a Necro with a shield because it's hardcore and you want to stay alive, that's smart. So that's a very good move, and I applaud you for doing that because it works. So by the way, which level of the Infernal Horde should we do? 6? I've only done 3 so far, so I haven't done 4. I haven't done 5. I've essentially not experienced that yet. But I'm kind of eager. I just want to jump like straight away to to like 6 or something. I heard 6 is where it gets hard right now, where it's like interesting to play and it gets challenging. So I really like to see how the Bone Spirit build holds up. Because I've seen Barbs do it, right? And Barbs, easy. So I do agree, by the way, that pit bosses need something maybe to make them more interesting, to make the fight more interesting. But I don't think that the actual stacks of boss damage is it, right? So yes, yes, something could be needed, but please don't make it the weird boss stack damage. Appreciate that, right? So something is needed, just not that. I would really like to have a perfect Boots of Tragul. It's a Yen's Blessing. It's a good Yen's Blessing even. Interesting. Okay, I got 2 more chests, and with 2 more chests, I have enough compasses, I think, to... Another compassy. That's the 3, 4, 5, and now I need 1 more, and then I'm at 6 compasses.
I need more time.
5 was a lot harder than 3 for me. Scared me off. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how much harder it truly gets, because right now 3 was obviously Joke Fiesta. But let's see how hard could 6 essentially be? Kurgar? I'm gonna take my fortitude potion with me. Mighty, you get to see there? Maximum life, intelligence. People keep now asking for Thorns builds, Chad. Only because Thorns get like a smidgen of a buff. Please, don't you 1, 2, 3 ask me for Thorns builds? That's not true. I think I did a 4 Infernal Compass already. 4 was still a joke. Okay, that's a tier 4, 5, 6. Okay, so monster level is 160. Wave cap is 8. Let's try out a 6 then. How bad could it be, chat? Well, what do you think? If we do a 6, we try out a 7. I mean, the hardest is 8, correct? So this is technically the Necro Super S tier build, the Wanger Banger, the Slipper Slapper, the Clipper Clapper, right? Oh, like the first thingy finally being some kind of challenge. Okay, interesting, right? Because that was usually one Bone Spirit done. So finally having to like fight this.
I need more time.
Let's pull everything together. And we're still one-hitting everything. Wish I had a bit more cooldown reduction on the bone on the corpse tendrils to essentially get oh wow, a few more corpse tendrils out. Aha, I'm gonna trick you all. I'm gonna pull you together. And you die. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what I was saying, like, right? This is like harsher. Interesting. Like if I had a better cooldown on the tendrils. Oh Jesus. That damage from the fire is a lot. I might have to max out my resistances first. Right? Because my resistances are not maxed out actually. Just in case you wonder, my resistances are not maxed out. Oops. Because I've been like not maxing out my willpower accordingly as I was supposed to. My apologies. Yeah, 6 feels good right now. I mean, like this is the amount of challenge you're looking for. I have to say that the minion build oh wow, I stood in it. Oops. So that was quick. The minion build was performing better in terms of like, you know, I don't have to actively do the damage. It was interesting. Let's get more compasses now to experience that again. Right? The minion build was doing so much better. Like this one is like dipping in life, but we do the damage, but we don't have like anyone to keep us safe for a bit. Funny how that was harder than a tier 101, despite only being level 160 opponents. Now you have me intrigued, Diablo. I mean, it seems that Barb probably wouldn't have a single problem with this, but that's again, the actual problem with Barb is that you're ruining your own fun, right? What is the exact problem with Barb, guys? The exact problem with Barb is that Barb is so strong that when you're actually playing it, you're partially ruining your own fun by just being so strong. Because what happens? Like, well, you're so goddamn powerful that you're just blasting through everything and you're kind of like, wow, this was super easy. Well, surprise, you're Barb. Actually an interesting way to you know, cut into your own fun because, well, that's what it is.
I'm not ready.
No, literally people getting bored of the game because they're playing too strong of a class. Am I not having a pet out right now? Where am I having a pet out right now? I feel like I'm not having it pad out, Chan. I'm definitely not having it pad out. Yeah, we need more of this, so we need to quickly teleport back, then teleport back in. Do you keep anything from the public test when the... No. The public test is literally what it says. It's a public test, okay? It's there for you to help Blizzard to not fuck it up. Because right now, if Season 5 would release like this, we can all agree that it would be a disaster. And the disasters may be very harshly worded, but if your seasonal mechanic is so unrewarding that there is literally no reason to in any way interact with it, then I think it's fair to call it a disaster and not an exaggeration to do so. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, right, Chad? Yeah, right now I'm happy that we have the chance to push back on certain changes, because they're quite undesirable, some of them. Oh, there was no wardrobe in here. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Good. But I like that the Infernal Hordes 5 was now difficult. So that was cool. Not gonna lie. I mean, felt certainly challenged there, right? To give this another try. So the sixer was now cool. But like I guess the only issue I have now, so I died in the sixer, right? And in order to play the sixer again, I now have to go into the Helltide, and I have to play essentially 30 minutes of Helltide, or let's say 15 minutes of Helltide to get another shot at the sixer. And if I then die again, I have to play another 15 minutes of Helltide. So I guess at the start of the season, that wouldn't be that much of a problem. But the further the season like progresses and the more time I have to like essentially spend in Helltide, just simply to actually keep playing the Infernal Hordes, even though I just want to beat the Infernal Hordes, right? It kind of feels like I'm you know, it feels a bit like dragging out content. I gotta farm something to then do something. You know, instead of at some point being able to just spam Infernal Hordes and enjoy them, like I have to jump through loops and hoops to like do it. That can feel lackluster. Where I get the shirt from? I forgot how the store is called. It is a God of War shirt. My dad gifted it to me because he was obsessed with the patterns, not knowing where they're from, which is cute. Like they're all gaming shirts. My dad was buying there, and he was like, "Look at my cool pattern shirts, right? They look so cool." I was like, "Dad, you know you're buying like, you know, Praise the Sun and so on." And like these are gaming shirts, right, Dad? You surely knew this. Yeah, what a nerd, Chan. Wasn't even aware he was nerding out. Lamperius, not sure if anyone told you, but you have the best informative breakdown of any Diablo creator. Easy to understand. Thank you. I know there's creators with more information and more in-depth information out there, but I do try to, you know, take the interesting tidbits and make them as easy to understand as possible. Has always been my approach. There are other creators that can like super giga nerd out the numbers, and I love them for it, right? Makes me happy that they exist. But there is only a certain level of giga nerd out I'm willing to do myself, right? Because at some point it doesn't get interesting to know if now like another 0.10 attack speed is better, or if it would be more opportune to get 0.10 of all damage plus. That is just the level of the casual player will never care about this. I mean, a lot of people pretend that they care about this to like look like cool and to be like min-maxing. And they watch these videos and they hope to learn something. But when they actually look at their own gear, they're like, I can't be fucking asked. You know, 99% my reaction, I just can't be goddamn asked. to go to that level of depth. As always, I like to make builds for people, but I let the people themselves push these builds as far as they want to, right? Like I'll never waste like 2 billion. I've seen actually some creators talk about it. So on average, it takes 2 billion gold to get the plus skill rank you need, and a lot of them have actually rolled that many times. And I'm like, I have literally no desire to sit there and go through 2 billion gold just to get one desired affix on an item, right? I'd rather not have that item then. You know? Because if I then hit it, I would just be frustrated. I mean, imagine spending 2 billion gold to finally get what you're looking for. Like to then get it, and you would assume that makes you happy then, but the actual thing is I would just look at that 2 billion gold I just had to spend. I would just like be like, this is shit and I'm unhappy. You know, I achieved my goal, but I am angry now. Angry about the things I had to do to achieve that goal. Okay, so now that Bone Spirit get like nuked in a tier 6, should we try out Bone Spirit again, or should we try like Summoner Necro to see if we actually fare better because we're more tanky and everything? I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, let's get invaded quickly, so I can pull the last chests out. Please invade me, Father Christmas. Do things just despawn when I rush onto them right now? Yeah, I know the Summoner Necro could still clear 101s, right? In the current state, without like getting any of the new uniques, Summoner Necro is still powerful, which is like good to see, right? But how good is it now, like versus the new content? That's actually what I haven't like checked out yet. I mean, Bone Spirit is plenty fun to play here, right? Because you're just nuking everything. So now we're essentially gonna get the Hellborn. So right, Hellborn comes, boom, Hellborn dead. Crazy though what levels of damage we need, right? So we just did 137 million hit, and you'd be like, yeah, surely 137 million hit is like more than enough to like tear a hole in his face, right? Well, it was enough, but just about. Why do they despawn? It's so weird. Like you push into minions and they just go away. They broke Helltide too, right? For the test server. Swordsman, good to see you there. Welcome as a brand new subscriber. Howdy, partner. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everyone still enjoying Diablo. I mean, how many weeks are we in now, Chad? We have officially now hit week 7 or 8, and like people are still watching. This is honest to God crazy, because last time after 3 weeks of the season, if you were still streaming Diablo, you might as well have not, right? I mean, I do notice that the YouTube viewership has dipped because the overall interest has waned now, especially as Shadow of the Erdtree is out. So people are actually looking actively for Shadow of the Erdtree shenanigans, and we will definitely be doing some of that as well. I mean, the only reason we're not doing Shadow of the Erdtree right now is because the test server is limited, right? So test server will go out of fashion in 2-3 days. And then we can't test things anymore. I mean, right now I want to like heart and bone test like the Bone Spirit build here to see if we can weasel out everything. I wanted to test some Infernal hordes, so I'm able to give proper feedback. Because hey, I'm a Diablo partner, chat. The last thing I can do is try to get proper feedback for Blizzard, right? Because season 4 owned. But season 4 is also pretty much over now, right? For me personally, from a mindset perspective, as soon as I have played the PDR, I'm unable to go back because I'm now already in season 5 mode, right? My brain is in season 5 mode. I'm excited for season 5, and going back to play season 4 feels just so bad because like, why would I now go back to play old content when I have essentially already brainstormed the new builds?
I need time to do that.
So yeah, so that's like, it's gonna be intriguing.
I cannot carry more.
I cannot carry more. Okay, let me teleport out of this hellhole right now. Destroy everything that I have in my inventory. Ooh. Nice 10. Thank you very much. I suffered in the scorching 40-degree heat of Greece in that.
You need steelwork? Repairs?
Okay, Infernal Compasses.
That got moved. Fight hard.
We can make a 1, 2, 3. So that's another tier 6. That one comes in here. And we're quickly going to swap over to the Necro, because we wanted to test how does the summoner now do. Why are you not wearing a helmet? Why are you not wearing a helmet? Oh, because this is not the summoner Necro. Sorry, chat. This is not the summoner Necro that you're looking for. Console players are crying. It's definitely sad for console players that they can't participate in the test server, but it's obviously not because Blizzard hates console players. They do. It is because of like that the test server's on Battle.net, right? And most console players understand that. They're still mad. Okay. We have the boots. We have the armor. We have the life. We wanted the elixir of fortitude. Okay, we have the resistances. Oh no, also we don't have the resistances. Oops. Need to double check. Since I'm unwilling to play around with the Paragon board right now, I'm just probably going to take this. So I don't have to bother, right? Ta-da. Resistance down. I know I'm a terrible person, chat. I'm okay with that. What do you think? Will they change Paragon boards? I wish they would. I don't think they will. Even though changing the Paragon boards would be the easiest thing to do. So, like, I would hope that they actually do change the Paragon board. I do not actively think they actually will. Simply due to... Wow, Jesus, my minions are still so nasty. Simply, I think that, like, it's just not in their focus right now. Even though it's, like, it's just literally, like, flicking around one value, right? So this is something that probably a Q&A team should have an eye on. Wait, did I just join this on... I just joined this on World Tier 4. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Okay, this is like night and day compared to the Bone Spirit, where like my minions are just making sure that everything dies. Right? Oh, Ether Lord, look at you. Minions are just still too convenient because they're just there, right? And Golem still does a significant amount of damage to just hurt everything. I guess the main reason this does better is the cooldown reduction on my corpse tendrils. All right, I get easy cooldown reductions right now. And they essentially help me to like always have everyone locked in. That Shadow Aura helps as well. So that was Let's see. Empower nearby foes, pull foes inwards. At the end of each wave, spawn 1, 2, 3 ether. Hellborns, ground ether. Yeah. We want the bonus Hellborns to come. I've liked that one a lot. It's been like my favorite because we made Hellborns give you ether, and then we had Hellborns give you even more ether, and then we had Hellborns give you even more ether, and Hellborns like essentially we stacked 4 Hellborn buffs on top of each other to let me check my notes, completely dominate the competition. See, like we quickly blood mist, then we pull everything together and everything dies in the middle, and then we have blood mist already again, and this continuous chance to blood mist it's just this continuous chance to corpse emerald, just very helpful. All right, look how many Hellborn are coming. We don't care. Hee. That's a tier 6 with Necro. Kind of cool, right? I mean, if it doesn't get harder, I think we could do a tier 7. But I wouldn't obviously do a tier 7. If I can beat a tier 6, I'm straight up going to a tier 8. Right? Right? Surely. This feels pretty simple right now. I mean, the Bone Spirit is objectively stronger with a higher damage ceiling and millions of damage output, right? One thing I should be doing is I should stop spam using potions because I accidentally tend to do this. Okay, so we have Etheric Masses grant more ether, Momo increase movement speed, or ether fiends. Yeah, more ether. I should have probably gone for the Etheric Masses because they're like kind of nice too as a buff. I tend to accidentally use potions even though I don't have to, because I fat finger that. In case you wonder, no, we're not using curses anymore with cursing. We're cursing by proximity. And the simple reason for cursing by proximity is that we are able to... he just fell over. That we are able to get the corpse explosion back in. Until you get the Burning Butcher. I had the Burning Butcher already once, but that was in a lower tier one. So the Burning Butcher was kind of like cool and fun to be. From here. Etheric Fiend. I mean, we're sturdy enough. We've like the 45,000 life, right? We're feeling good. Our resistances are cracking. We have our golem eating things. Our minions are doing decent damage. There's Hellborn. Hellborn are getting pulled together. Finally had to use a potion. We pull everything together again. Curse the shit out of them. Have the golem eat him. Okay, now we got increases movement speed. Ether Lords now spawn. Hellborn ground +1 ether. So Hellborns spawn. Hellborns give 1 ether. And now Hellborns give another ether. Right? Perfection. I like it. Expansion is going to get released with Season 6. Yes, that's why I also want Season 5 to be good. Because if Season 5 ain't good, like, right? If we're not getting the game mechanics good in Season 5... Season 6 is building up in this, because right now I would say that there's the Burning Butcher we talked about. Right now I would say that Infernal Hordes is something that could stay. Okay, the Burning Butcher just has me. That's true. He just kills me. So that Infernal Hordes is something that, if it's done right, is a good new endgame mechanic that could stay. So this is like not necessarily like a seasonal endgame mechanic, right? It could be something that should just be in the game because why not, right? As an optional farm for stuff. Oh, what is this now? That's new. Oh, okay, that's it. Just a bunch of vampires, ether fiends, whatever. I'm a bit confused about this. Like I was like expecting more. And then that's like, that's it. That's all we're getting. So Butcher, yes, kills us. Too much stagger, not enough anti-stagger. I guess for that, I would need to have Barrier, which I don't have. Congratulations. We need some more Hellborn. Just failed you tier 6. I mean, like, that Butcher is annoying, but hey. Ether Lords grant 3. Ether Fiends. No, I want to killing spawns Ether events faster. I mean, that's like such a... Ether events faster is my favorite one, even though it's like the stupidest thing to technically do, right? Because more Ether events means more Ether, but more Ether events means more chances to die. Technically, right? So you like high risk, high reward gameplay? Oh, the Hellborn. Hellborn, please. Thank you very much. Ret Knight, please. Look at the thing they're dropping. I need more Hellborn. Thank you very much. You're all dead too. Sometimes I wish we had the old cooldown reduction back so I could still go absolutely... Oh, that's Hellborn. Cool. And more. Give me more Hellborn. Pretty, please. So 6 fields manageable currently, especially considering that this build got heavily nerfed, right? Don't forget, this build got heavily nerfed. And then buffed with some other aspects, but technically it's still like nerfed, right? Well, that's more ether. Give it. Give it. Give it. Okay, now we need ether fiends explode and damage foes. Ether fiends. Oh, more events. I'm definitely gonna kill myself. I'm definitely gonna kill myself here. Iron Wolf Wrap should be in the game after Season 4. If they're not going to have Iron Wolf Wrap in the game after Season 4, I think it's a huge fumble. So yes, I am absolutely with you there. Iron Wolf Wrap was the single best thing they did because they added like a little grind, like almost like a daily login reward, you know, for people, something to look forward to. Like you play and you get rewarded for playing, and that always feels good. Like like I'm a little bit confused sometimes. Like Blizzard has literally one of the most successful mobile games out there with Diablo Immortal, right? And it feels like they're unwilling to learn from Diablo Immortal, because in my humble opinion, like some like these kind of like rewards that you get from this event is essentially what makes some people just log in daily and play, because they get a reward board to finish. And finishing a reward board feels rewarding. Like I'm always happy to knock that out. Like, right, it's active progress that I can look forward to essentially beating. Active progress that is fun to play through. And then when I have it done, I get like something cool and special, right, for my efforts. And that's like something that mobile games do a lot. They have like these reward boards, special events, and all that kind of stuff to pull through. And it always works. It always makes the players happy. Okay, how are you supposed to get 250 ether? I'm trying here, right? I'm trying to take as much possible ether bonuses I can. I'm getting those ether events as fast as like humanly, you know, for this build happens. Yeah, I think I could kill things faster. And I made the dudes also like plenty, like everything is like plenty giga strong at this point. Right, oh, there's the, oh, that's a fiend. I thought that was the butcher again. Luckily it wasn't. And there's another ether fiend. You please kill him. Oh, ouch. There's more everything. Pull them all together. Nuke him. Thank you very much. Now kill him. More Hellborn, thank you. My golem alone is just like enough to walk up to this dude and kill him. It's actually kind of funny. I need to quadruple the ether drop, yes. Tier 8 compass with 4 whirlwind barbs. Most I took was 210 in a tier 6 run. Yeah, that's kind of like where it feels bad, right? I'm really trying everything here right now, and I'm already playing like a good area of effect build. And I'm literally trying here, defeat the council grounds 15 ether. Okay, at the end of each wave here. See, like I'm trying to get the Hellborns as strong as I can. So I'm getting like more Hellborns and have the Hellborns essentially like drop as much ether as possible. And it seems to be working, right? I mean, they're dropping more and more, but I'm literally just at 100. Like it just feels like I made them stronger by 75%, and we have been like not getting an exponential gain of ether, if that makes sense to you, right? It feels like a minimal more. Well, that's a lot of things together here. I can barely see shit right now. Maybe I overdid it a little bit. Oh, holy Christ. Maybe I overdid it a little bit. So this is the normal thingy here right now, that all this fire comes, and I need to avoid the fire. So I need to avoid everyone and the fire. I get it. My problem is that I'm essentially making like a bunch of poison on the ground, correct? And then on top of the bunch of poison on the ground that we're making, there is this fire going on. So I'm a little bit, how do I say this now? Overwhelmed visually by what's going on. I'm trying to cope and comprehend. That's a lot of ether for killing the Hellborns. Okay, so we get this done. Yeah, the etheric masses seem good for me as well. What's up, boys? I've never fought them longer than few seconds. Now let's see how that feels when you actually fight them longer than a few seconds. Because right now I've literally just always like, you know, you just kill them. Is there literally a strategy to this, or do you just still nuke them? Okay, my minions are splitting up. So instead of like focusing one dude down, my lats are running between all three of them. That's great. Totally not annoying. Totally wouldn't prefer to like pull these nerds together. I would assume I should probably just focus on the other two now, because there's like no downside. Okay, other dude is on Mars currently. Oh, wow. Yikes. Oh, there was no need to stand this close to him, I guess. Good. So this build definitely been doing better in the actual phase to get to the bosses. And the Bone Spirit build would do better killing the bosses. That's for sure. So that was fun. It was really fun. But the rewards are shit. So I can see where the Infernal hordes are quite fun to do. But in the time that we have just spent, I could have done 4 tier 100 dungeons, right? for tier 100 pits. So why, you know, why bother doing this with a chance of, like, you know, of failing when you could have farmed like all the pits instead? So I can really see where people just simply don't want to do it. Intriguing. Let's actually... Oh, no. Let me quickly kill the Queen of the Helltide, yeah? Because I forget that I can do the... I can do the thing with 2 different accounts. And then I could get another compass, right? And I can pass another compass over. Minions are still so easy, like for this. So right now, Bone Spear probably best pit nuking build, kinda. From a mere damage standpoint. I don't have a pet out with this character as well. Always forgetting to get my pets out. One of my children just yelled down. This makes me kind of sad that the Bone Spirit didn't feel this good for... I should try out the Blood Wave. Wait, my children are yelling? Things you can't do with your other build, right? Standing AFK and just farming this, shizzing it down. Do I have another chest? Ah, there's another protection chest. Perfect. Get the chest of protection knocked out. Connect another Infernal Compass. So I just did a 6er, but we failed. Not the point, though, because I want to do an 8 now. Chan, I want to do an 8 now. Oliver, good to see you there. Undertaker, howdy. Welcome back. My feedback for Hordes is cool thought, decent execution, very bad tuning on mechanics and rewards. Yes. Yes. The boons and banes just don't feel like that impactful. I'm absolutely with you. Like the boons and bane system has to feel like that every decision is like significantly altering the experience. Because right now, just having, you know, like a little bit more Hellborn, a little bit more cowbell there, it just doesn't feel like enough of a very impactful shebang. It often feels like, oh, nice, but yes, it doesn't feel enough. Howdy, Verse. Blood Surge is dead? Yes. I mean, Blood Surge would be very good for the Infernal Hordes, but the problem is as good as Blood... as good as Blood Surge would be killing the Hordes, it would just not be good versus the bosses. So again, same old problem, right? By the way, can you explain why Blizzard didn't just provide us with tons of Infernal Compasses instead of making us farm for them? I mean, right now I'm just trying to get enough quickly so we can try out a tier 8. We'll showcase a Skeletal Mage build. I saw your Golem video for Season 5. Yes, I got Tyrael's. We can actually do that right now. The problem is I don't have the perfect gear to make that build. So the version of the build I will make will always be inferior because I just don't have Skeletal Mage enchantments going on. But we can certainly make the build. Because I finally have Tyrael's Might, and it's like I think the build should actually be insane for Hordes. So if you want to, we can definitely see how good Shadow Mages are going to be doing. Since I do have the gear for it, roughly, right? And the problem is my golem chest obviously doesn't do anything. And we do not have the crown to boost it further, which is also a bit sad. Already did 100 Durian Era runs, still no grandfather, missing one more Uber to craft it. I'm sorry, sir, to hear that you're lacking a grandfather. I just made my Tyrael's Might. Tyrael's Might should actually be very good. My Tyrael's Might essentially gives you free cool explosions, right? The minions shoot projectile from Tyrael's too. I don't think they do, but you're essentially spamming corpse explosions, so that kind of is perfect. Right? You're kind of spamming corpse explosions, so why would you need that? So like every corpse explosion you do spawns a Tyrael's Might, so you would essentially just be having like corpse explosions plus continuous Tyrael's Mights happening, which is actually kind of nice. My problem right now is though that my rings have golem damage, golem damage, golem damage, golem damage, right? Just like that. So we're essentially never going to really use the other stuff. But we could get a nice little barrier. This PDR, yes, this is the PDR. We're currently testing the PDR changes. If they're good, if they're bad, if they're ugly, how the Infernal hordes feel and stuff like that. I mean, currently I'm gathering a wee bit more talismans that we essentially have enough talismans. I think I have more on my other character too, so we could boost one higher. We just tried at tier 6 and tier 6 felt okay. Especially for this build. So like this build, like top of the line, summon a Necro that can like clear 120, 130 of the pin, right? Or could clear before Blizzard decided that Summoner Necro is too strong, too dangerous to be left alive. But we already bought ourselves the beautiful and useful Tyrael's Might, this one. So while at full life, your skills unleash a divine barrage, dealing 5,000 damage. And yes, this one does work together with everything that the dude is doing. Okay, we got... Can I destroy this? So that's a 7. Let me see how many did I have on the other build. So I gotta say the bosses were certainly harsh right now. I mean, gotta respect the bosses. The Fell Council felt something. That's another 3. Wow. Okay, so we got them all, chat. Well, let me try to get a number 4 quickly. I can just kill the boss. Yep. Get another one. And they promoted Summoner Necro in the first place. Well, Summoner Necro is still strong, but then they like... So, how do I say this now? The nerf of the Blighted key passive. So the nerf of Blighted to essentially deal less of a bonus is technically done in good faith, because with the Blighted nerf, they're opening up a little bit more for different builds. Because you're not forced to play the Blighted anymore to get a huge damage boost. The problem is that, sure, you're opening it up for more builds, but at the same time, you're kind of ruining it for the builds that needed the Blighted to, in the first place, be as strong as they are. So it's kind of like, congratulations on taking the one thing out that actually made certain builds good. And not only that, for some reason, they also decided that the Paragon node Wither was too powerful and they needed to cap it out. So they are essentially denying any mass intelligence build, which was actually really fun and difficult to put together, the right to exist. Which is like kind of weird. So not only have they ruined the Blight build, right? They have ruined any kind of X-Felds build. They made minions weaker. So they like shut down 4 to 5 Necro builds to promote build variety, right? So their goal in the patch was build variety and to take a must-have aspect away. But they essentially shut down like 5+ builds. So how are you actually promoting build variety like this, right? What am I missing here, chat? Or they want certain builds to not be played because it would be too much technical trouble. Do agree. Don't think that's the case here. Do think they just overdid it. Remember when we wanted to extend the PDR this season? Well, the difference right now is Breezy. That this PDR, like by playing a couple of days, so by playing the minimal amount of time, you already have seen the glaring issues that we have. So you didn't even have to put in much time to see what's fundamentally not working. And now I would like to see what's fundamentally not working in better, right? Okay, chat, this is a tier 8 compass now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tier 8 compass, are we ready to fumble? Summoner Necro, good things. Mr. Puddin, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Welcome as a brand new subscriber. Also, chat, if you do have a Prime sub, don't forget to Prime sub or like the YouTube stream. Either or of those, both now. Thank you. Craft. We need an instance. I'm too lazy to twiddle my Paragon board. We take that and this. We get the 9 with... We're not going to change anything. Like, Paragon board. I mean, the only thing I could do in the Paragon board is I could essentially weasel out golem damage. So I could do this, right? To get 5 points out of the golem damage. And we could do these 5 points just to essentially boost my life total. So I'm more sturdy. Right? So suddenly I would be at 50,000 life just to give me a bit more sturdiness. Let's see that we're not going to go for too many Hellborn this time. So the Hellborn seemed like a little bit extreme at point X. Damn. The Tormentor at level 200. Just being like, okay, like I'm gonna be difficult to deal with her. We got him, chat. Got him. Okay. Get the party started. Tier 8. Tormentor down. I mean, normal minions still relatively squishy, right? So normal opponents just fall in. Nothing all too crazy. Should probably keep my... How do I say this now? It should probably keep my corpse tendrils on cooldown in case like things get spawned that are a bit more split. So I get more out of my corpse tendrils. Like when the Ether Fiend comes here. Well, that's a lot of elites at the same time. It's a lot of cooldowns at the same time as well. Hehe. Jesus, my minions are dying, Chad. Like it's been a while since my minions have actually died, right? Oh wow, almost killed myself there. I need more minions. They have died again. Oh wow, like that fire just absolutely took me out. Despite being relatively sturdy, right? Oh wow, that fire took me out again. Yikes. Didn't feel like it should have, but it did. Okay, that crossbow just killed me. Cool. How do you pronounce your name? You say pony like a pony because the 4 is an O and the W is silent, obviously. And the Hoff is like the Hasselhoff. Well, that was pretty quick. I mean, for 50,000 life, every resistance, like resistance out, at least the last time when I checked. I don't know why my resistance. Oh, because my, yeah. Every resistance out with the incense, right? And then you're like, This is a really quick death. I'm rather surprised. So tier 8 brutal for this. Need a way to make minions force target enemies. I mean, like, you kind of have that by sending the golem in, and you did have that by cursing as well, but obviously now that we have the curse on autocast, we kind of don't have that. So it's a little bit of a sure we still have it, but we actually don't have it. So we kind of like don't, but we do, but we don't, but we do. Right? Surely. The minion AI feel different. I mean, it hasn't felt bad since season 4. Sure, there are moments where you're like, why are you so stupid? But like, I think the main difference is that your golem is jumping now. So whenever he's like kind of back all the way there, instead of doing this very fast walk up. So that was the problem, right? So he would press the ability and he comes kind of like super speedster like walking up to you and helping you, right? And that kind of like is not happening anymore. Now he just jumps forward and it's instantly there. And that kind of like, that really helpful. A specific button. It would be great to have a specific button, but if they wanted us to have a specific button, we would have it at this point. So the easy answer is we're not getting a specific button. Right? we're not getting a specific button. I'm sorry. You play around with your hemorrhage build with a new sword yet? No basic skill build will be good for Necro. Never, ever. The Sword of Varathiel is good. Unless Necromancer gets a fundamental change on how it works. Or how the basic skills of Necro work. And the basic skills of Necro would get like some really interesting aspects. Basic skill Necro will never be good. And it has to do with like a distinctive lack of abilities and everything, and the basic skills just being underwhelming, and you not having like real defensive skills, and that kind of stuff like all factors in together, where Necromancer is not just like Rogue or something, where you could just, you know, opt in to boost a basic skill like Crazy or Barb. Even if you boost the basic skill like Crazy, you're just still a Necro. You know, you're still just a Necro, so you're not magically suddenly insane and your basic skill is like off the charts. No. Which is sad. I would really like to see one of the Necro base skills be so good that you could essentially play them and really be like, wow, this is cool. So tier 6 is not happening. Right, Chad? At tier 8 is not happening right now. At least not with like we just died too quick. And I'm not exactly sure how to fix that problem because again, this is my gear, correct, Chad? So this is currently my gear that I have been using to push the pit as deep as possible, right, in season 4. And I could weasel out more defense. That is wholly a thing. A wee bit more damage reduction, not much more, just a wee bit more. I don't think it would be enough to make you like save. Right? That's intriguing. And the Bone Spirit build definitely has it worse. So I'm like not sure if Necro will actually be able to finish the hardest Infernal Horde. Because that was also only pushing through the thing, right? Without actually fighting the bosses. I guess the best way to push through the Infernal Hordes might be a Shadow build. The problem with Shadow build is they changed how Blood Mist works. So right now you could use Blood Mist, right? And you could instantly reduce the cooldown of Blood Mist that you could then use it straight away again. So you could essentially infinitely stay into Blood Mist. Well, they kind of changed how these infinite survival skills work because Sorcerer was going a little bit crazy with it. Which means now that Necromancer does not have an option to like use Blood Mist infinitely in a row. Which was never a problem because you might be able to use Blood Mist infinitely in a row, right? But even if you are using Blood Mist infinitely in a row, you still can't cast skills while Blood Misting, right? Not like a sword which used Flame Shield, and then while they're Flame Shielding, they can essentially just keep casting. Right? It's not like that we had that as a Necro, because we can't. we simply can't. So not sure why they had to, like, you know, why they had to kick Necro in the face as well, together with Sword. I'm like, sometimes they're like, okay, so since you know, Sorg is not allowed to be invincible, we need to change the way how invincible skills work. And by doing that, we'll just ruin Necromancer. You know this so-called Infinity Mist build, right? Where you used to be able to infinitely stay in Blood Mist, which had its own slew of issues and was actually slowing down your clearing speed. So it was kind of like making you weaker, right? To a degree. So that Infinity Mist like is now not happening anymore, unless you get a lot of Blood Mist cooldown reduction and essentially come out of the Blood Mist and instantly have the cooldown reduced to nothing. That would probably be the only way how that still works. Okay, let's do another tier 6. We have another 3 compasses. This one is tier 4 already, so tier 6 is possible. I don't want to clear tier 6 now. Be interesting. Let's also try another etheric mass strategy.
I'm not ready yet. It is done.
Okay, we got one more. Let's try out these lads. Then I would say, like, we're going to do one more golem try, Chad. Then we're going to throw the golem build out of the window. And we're going to go over to mages. And then I'm just going to show you how mages are performing. How does that sound to you? Does that sound decent fun? Let's do one more. We need to pick up another incense. And then we're going to go over to mages. Where's the incense giver? I'm so happy to have all my materials on this account right now. And I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be so sad to not have all these materials, right? I mean, it's so useful. Okay, we're going to San Francisco. Ladies and gentlemen, Infernal Hordes, Tier 6. What have you beaten so far? Have you even tried it out? Which class? What did you do? How did you like it? Was it Barb? If it was Barb, we're not talking. So dude dies like in one hit. Gets murdered. Running through the fire because I'm a bot multiple times in a row. Essentially now standing in a circle, just spamming my blood mist. Right? In between getting one or the other cast for the lats off. Pushing into the soul spire. No one likes snakes. In no event, in no capacity. Oh, that's an etheric mass. So now I do blood mist, and essentially I'm out of blood mist, right? But blood mist cooldown starts plenty late, so I can't blood mist again. This is intended by them to essentially prevent immortality. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna do like per wave start. We're gonna do bonus etheric, bonus ether. We could probably do more ether events spawning, but I feel like that one did bite me in the butt later on. That I had like more ether events spawning. Pull everything together. It's funny how the difficulty spike between a 6 and a 7 and 8 is like so significant. I mean, this one is like feeling like clearing a 101 of the pit because everything dies like relatively simple, right? With a few hit, if your golem actually goes and eats them, they just die. If they stop running away. Okay, what do we have? At the start of each wave, 1, 2, 3, ether. Wave start spawns an etheric mask. Yes. Fantastic. They give me like a save mass, and when I have the cooldowns, right, we can just get it destroyed. And you could also have the masses spawn ether lords. That one was an interesting one I found a while back. If we had the masses spawn ether lords, then we would be spawning like more etheric mathis, right? We go for more events, and then the lords, and then we have the lords like give us 3 ether each, and we would essentially get like 5 to 6 masses per wave, and it's like it's plenty. Ether fiend, dude. Dude. They nerfed Heartseeker, yes, but technically with the Sword of Varathiel, you could make Heartseeker still work. I mean, they didn't actually nerf Heartseeker, they nerfed Victimize, because Victimize was double dipping. But I'm pretty sure that with the Varathiel item, you should be able to alleviate the double dipping nerf to a degree. So Heartseeker should wholly still be possible. I just simply haven't tried it, so I can't give you like an educated call on this one right now. Right, I still need to in depth give that a roly poly. Okay, I'm not digging like your ether fiend jumping around here right now. Yeah, you get eaten. Stupid snakes. Okay, just find the sword first. Exactly. Like only because items essentially wave starts another etheric mass. Sure, let's go. So only because there is an item that makes a build better doesn't mean you're going to get said item, right? So I'm fully with you there. Sure, it's nice if there's the Sword of Varathiel that might help, but like it only helps if you do actually have said Sword of Varathiel. So if you're then not getting it. Because, well, that's how the world goes around sometimes, that you're not getting what you're looking for. Then you're essentially... Do we know what the benefit is of going high tier compass? So high tier compass means more waves. More waves means more chances to earn ether, and more chances to earn ether means essentially more ether for more rewards. And obviously the challenge, right? And if you have 5 waves, you have 5 waves to earn ether. If you have 8 waves, you have 8 waves to earn ether. And it's like compounding interest, right? So, for example, I have that every wave spawns an etheric mass. So that means that it's already 2 saved ether per wave. And I could take also every wave gives like 1 to 3, right? So like the more boons and banes I get, the more ether I can obviously accrue and stack up. And then by wave 5, I'll be having so many interesting events already going on, right? That it's just like more, and more. And then every subsequent wave has the chance to just give me so much more ether because I've been stacking up all the events on top of each other. Right? Just like how we had like Hellborns give me +1 ether. Hellborns give me +1 ether. Hellborns give me plus... See, that's Hellborn gives me ether. This is killing enemies give me more events. Oh, yeah, sure. See, like we're starting again with 2 etheric masses, so that's like two ethers save at the beginning, which is not actually really impressive. But if I now like get the 2 ethers in the beginning and then like clearing things gives me just more ether events, so I'm essentially just having like faster these ether fiends, and that means even more ether, right? Gotta walk out of this before I die. Tend to like walk into these. We get the next mass to kill. See, he just jumped on it. From like a kilometer away, he just jumped on it. Then there's the next event already. Cool. So like and kind of like this 50% chance to get the events faster. That one obviously stacks as well. So the more waves you have now, the more chance you have to get this, and then the more stacks you're gonna get, and then the faster you're gonna get the events, and then more ether again. And that should technically lead to way more rewards. But right now you see, like, despite having like this more ether thingy, like so the etheric mass, I'm still at 4 waves in 27, right? So I have taken all these boons, and these boons are plenty and they're doing well, right? But despite taking all these boons, it's not like I'm having like a crazy, so this is all like obviously theory, right? So I'm not having like a crazy gain of ether. I would essentially have to like get a certain set of things that always give a lot. I mean, it's high risk, high reward, right? If as I got, for example, the Hellborn thingies, the Hellborns hunting me, and then I stacked the Hellborns and more Hellborns and so on. That was nice. So that's etheric mass now giving me +1 ether. So this is what we have been looking for, because now again every wave gives us 2 etheric masses. These 2 etheric masses now for sure give me 2 ether. So that means for the next X waves we have this clear. And then now we are also getting the events faster as we kill things, which also means more etheric masses, which then means more ether again, right? So that's more. That's a Hellborn too. And we have the next etheric mass. So we're just like on a mission to clear all of these as fast as possible, to then essentially get more of these and kill the set ether lords that are also appearing in the ether fiends and the Hellborns. Oh wow, I haven't had that one puke on me in a while. Right, there's the Hellborn that we need to kill quickly. Hellborn dead. Next etheric mass, double. And like this double etheric mass you can get like so many times, right? So that was like one time the etheric mass being doubled, but I could get the etheric mass being doubled, well, multiple times, which is actually quite incredible, because then you're like, then you're having like etheric math in the long run just drop you so, oh Jesus Christ, that almost took me out. So much ether, it's like incredible. So they're like popping out like 5+ ether then from a mass. But there's another one. Oh shit, that wasn't intended that I die here. Interestingly enough, I do have to take my instance now again because I died. And that means a reduction in resistances. Now we got slay it to gain. Infernal demon has your scent. Oh, that's the butcher. At the end of the wave. I really don't want to get that butcher because my build is essentially flawed, right? To get that. Why is my build flawed? Because I'm summoner Necro. In case you didn't know, but the butcher just ignores summons and walks through them and kills them. Oops, that was way too much damage. That hellfire raining down was really not it. So yeah, like the butcher just ignores like your summons, right? And just walks past them and attacks the summoner, which is really smart of the butcher. But also really bad for the summoner build because you're like, why do I even exist, right? Am I a joke to you, Mr. Butcher? Okay, so that hellfire raining down, I'll never take again. That feels just bad. I'm already like on the Necro handicap here again, enough to not handicap myself further by getting death rained up on me. Destroy more ether. Thank you very much. You just landed on it. That's the new jump. FY. Ladies and gentlemen, the new I jump forward and I just put my fat booty on whatever I want. Works plenty well. Are you an Eternal or seasonal player? I don't think there's a single content creator who is an Eternal player. I mean, you would essentially ruin your content creation career by being an Eternal player. You're, like, not even joking or anything. Masses spawn an Ether Lord on death. See, this one is like super fun. Because we're now spawning these masses, right? And 2 of them straight away. And then they always spawn an Ether Lord. And that Ether Lord is technically easy to kill. Because minions do enough damage. When you just got to look out that you're not accidentally spawning too many Ether Lords at the same time. And you're taking them out fast enough. I mean, as I said, theoretical, they're easy to kill. Right? And then every Moss we kill gives us another Ether Lord, and then we get another Ether Lord, and then we get another Ether Lord. It's like really cool for like low level. Oh, that was a bit much. There was another Ether Lord. Okay, I might have overdone it a little bit, chat. Okay, I was a bit greedy. So minions really bad in season 5, or at least not as per season 4. No, minions are really good still. But it's weaker. Now that we did this, because I wanted to see how we're faring, there is a build that's going to be stronger than the minions we just played there. So let's quickly get the world boss. Because world boss is new, as far as I know. World boss has changed. Because world boss is now... having like bonus damage instances or something. I've seen like videos about, like, I've seen posts about that they're different. Minions are weaker, but not weak. No, they're just weaker. I do believe that will change. Why? Because currently the blighted aspect is neutered. Okay, so 75% instead of 150%. It's literally half the damage. And with half the damage, we mean everything half the damage. So half the damage your golem, half the damage your half the damage your mages, half the damage your army of the dead, half the damage everything. Okay? Everything. Literally halved. This kind of feels bad. I'm walking round, ride, round, do 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 do, ride, round, in a circle. So what changed about the bosses? Does anyone know? Or are you gonna let me go in blind, Chan? are you gonna be these people? Well, it seems to like still die very quickly to me. Could certainly not kill me.
I need more time.
Oh, there's like it spawns something. Ads. It spawned totems. Shade totems. Okay. Oh, the boss is not dropping. The boss is not dropping the compass. That's stupid. The boss should like drop 3 or 4 compasses, right? I mean, not getting a compass is just like that's bad design. Okay, so what do we want to change now? Let's go and change the build, because that was now minions. Minions was fun, right? But there's another build that you can play. Everyone will go Bone Spirit. No, I do think a lot of people will still go Minions, because Minions is still plenty strong. Let's take out the Golem points. This one. I mean, I essentially have 3 more points that I don't need. It's actually funny. We could do Blind, but I'm not sure if we can actually do Blind. We have to think about it. We're going to sacrifice the Golem for crit. We're going to have the Mages be the double cast. We're going to have the Warriors be the Reapers. We're going to pull Tyrael's Might out of my butthole. That's Tyrael's Might. I should get a double socketed.
The finest cuts shine on, my friend.
Not while I'm in town.
We can make 2 more rubies. Tyrael's Might is going to get masterworked. Whatever, actually, resistance to all elements, cool. You can like, with Tyrael's Might, you can actually drop all resistance to all elements thingies, right? I assume.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails. What do you need?
Okay, great. I got the resistance boosted, guys, to 76%. There we go. We're insane. We get this boosted up. For the chosen one. Okay, we need to... No, not respec. We need to throw the Paragon board out of the window. Need to check my Paragon board for the Skeleton Mage build. Because I wanted to see like how, like, in my humble opinion, mages should technically perform better. Should technically perform better. Oh, Dead Razor. That was Flash Eater. And the corporal glyph. Corporal is too good to not have. Okay, out here into the phonograph board. Into the exploit glyph for now. Just like seeing what we can do, right? Then we do bloodbath. And you technically want to do this to weasel out more life. That would be essence. Then we're going to go over... Son of Death for Darkness. No, Son of Death for Control. What do you do? Ah, you do this by going here. And then last but not least, it was the Wither board. Because the Wither board gives you... Darkness Cliff. Hold on. And I have 3 points left. How do I have 3 points left? Wayne, we needed... Where's control? Control? I have 3 points left. Huh. How's my resistances? They're insane. Yeah, cool. They're insane. Could essentially boost the resistances further by... Two points left. Can I use them like here for this and for that? Like I have so much more max life, right? So we're just sitting like very comfortable at a good amount of max life. So we get Turiels. We get Turiels, we get this, we had the Mage Mastery, we need the Warrior Mastery boots. So these are my Warrior Mastery boots. That steals some armor away from me, which means I need to actually... Yikes, I need to... I need to yoink a thingy out here to put a skull in. Which actually still has me like fully resistanced out, so we're happy, right? Done. So that would have me essentially... And we could use Army of the Dead with this build instead of Bone Storm, because I just don't see what Bone Storm would do for me. It's like that's like the thought process right now. Like we could use Bone Storm, but I just don't see what it would do for me. We technically can't use Blight if I choose to play. Can I forego this? So we have Army of the Dead, we have Frenzied. Technically need the attack twice thingy. Do I had a Skeletal Mages attack twice? Skeletal Mage. I like this here. Skeletal Mages attack twice, right? That's useless. Another chance for Skeletal Mages to attack twice. I think like that would help me here. Yeah, well, we're gonna play with this currently, but I need to decide what did I wanted. I needed the crown. I need a Cult Dominion. Yeah, so my like since I don't have the crown, we're gonna be suffering from damage. We get the minions. We have the hardened bones. We need getters. Click getter. Don't work. With the army would still work. We have the shade mist. We technically don't need the great feast. But I need shade mist. Do I have a two-handed weapon? Yeah, I have this one. So technically I could play my scythe. And the scythe could still play the blighted, which should like perma-trigger, technically. Then we could do unyielding commander up here. And we could do shade mist up here. Right? Should work. Then our resistances are crazy. We drink this. Oh, we need a new compass. Shitty, shitty, shit. Where do I get a compass from really quick now? Well, doing Helltide, I guess. If I get off the PDR, will all my characters still be normal game? Yes, your characters will be normal games. So your PDR is essentially a carbon copy of what you have right now, like into the Eternal Realm, but it doesn't actually influence your dudes in any way. Oh, I need to have this different. Wait, this is awkward. Yeah, I need to have this. I need to have like the keys spent different, or I'm gonna be like absolutely weirding out about this. So as you can see, whenever I explode something right now, we're essentially getting. I'm currently missing the curse. How did I miss out on using the curse? So as you can see, like if I explode something, like the shit goes off, right? So this is Turiel's Might currently. This is not the Holy Bolt Elixir. This is Turiel's Might, which actually makes farming like Helltides and everything quite interesting because corpse explosions happen for free, right? And I just continuously get this going on without essentially having to like invest in this, while the Blood Getters actually keeps healing me up. Now the problem with the Blood Getters is, as much as it's healing me up, right, continuously, so I'm actually full HP, we're currently missing the curse aura. Now we could just put out Army of the Dead to put the curse in. That would give me one aspect for free. But I kind of like to keep Army of the Dead. It feels bad to get the curse in. Let me kill a tournament boss on my sword. Katie, wait, I can help you without the scrolls. No problem. We can get that done. So can you bring other items from life server to PDR? No, I think only like from the moment that the PDR was created, that's everything that got brought over. So I don't think there's a way to bring anything bonus over to the PDR at this point. Scrolls are tradable. I don't like making scrolls tradable will be fueling the gold industry. I mean, imagine just simply buying yourself scrolls instead of farming them. I think that's not going to go the way Blizzard wants it to go. Like, I mean, it's just a realistic thought, right? If the scrolls are tradable, there's going to be a rampant real money scroll buying thingy. You get your shaker after they did the PDR port. Yeah, I have all my Uber uniques here. I even have one more Uber unique with the Tyrael's Might now. But I really want to try out the Tyrael's Might with this build. My biggest problem right now is I'm lacking DPS like crazy. Why? Because all my items are having golem damage instead of skeletal mage damage, but I literally cannot retemper the items, right? So that's a bit of a bummer, because it significantly weakens what I could be doing with the build. But I still want to see, like, despite the build being so weak, what it could do. You try Makuna's Firebolt build. I'm not, like, I don't like the Firebolt build, my friend. I've been a Frost Orb enjoyer. You know, Frost Orb. So Frozen Orb was fun. For the Firebolt build, I needed too many things, right? The Firebolt build is essentially like a try-hard build, because you really need to hit certain tempers to make it super well work. At least like the current Immortal version, right? And I'm just not willing to sacrifice my casual fun for getting something to work like that, if that makes sense for you, right? I like to make very good builds. I don't like to farm the items. Yeah, +1 for picking a build you enjoy. Exactly. Like I want to play fun builds, right? I make good builds, but I'll leave it to you guys to really farm the items. Like if you want to go crazy, right? My golem build is one of the best golem builds out there, period. Sorry. But like in order to get him all the way to the levels, you just gotta really put in the time to farm, which I'm not going to. That's just way too much effort. Okay, what did I wanted to... I'm having like... Oh yeah, I wanted to destroy things. I was completely phased out there. I completely didn't know what I was actually trying to do right now. I wanted to get 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are now in the same position as we were before, just with a different build, and technically this build is somewhat weaker. My Whirlwind Barb is melting faster. Yeah, you can't really compare Barb in any way to anything else, right? Because Barb is just Barb and will just do Barb things. So I'm essentially going to stand in the middle, right? I'm spamming corpse explosions now left, right, and center while I'm healing myself up. We're currently playing this completely without curse, which is actually funny. I'm just simply playing this without curse because I made a doo-doo. I could get the curse back in, but right now I'm just unwilling to do so because I kind of want to have the continuous heal. Because you're using Tyrael's Might, right? And Tyrael's Might only works when you're full HP. How are you full HP? Well, either you're going to be spamming potions or you're going to be using the Bloodgetters aspect to essentially just be full HP all the time, right? And I just prefer like essentially summoning a bonus minion to just be full HP and then spam my corpse explosion, because as long as the skeletal priest is running, I am being healed. So I'm always going back to full HP automatically without having to use a potion, while I'm essentially just like here in the middle, avoiding damage and just absolutely spamming away with Tyrael's Might. Again, this is not me using the Holy Bolt Elixir because that is just boring. I don't think the Holy Bolt Elixir also exists anymore, right? No, this is just me using my Tyrael's Might and the power of infinite healing. Okay, now I have to use a potion because that thing actually damaged me. That's mean, sir. Not allowed to damage me like that. And you notice how this is like working better than the golem for this kind of content, because I'm essentially getting a free area nuke that I don't have to put efforts in for, right? What do we have? Soul Spires, pull inwards. Wave starts with an etheric mass. Let's do that again. Bomb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull everything together. Need some corpses, sir, ma'am. Could we get some cowbell, please? Sometimes we're waiting for those corpses. Maybe I exploded a little bit too many. Sure, laser me in the back. Don't mind if I don't want to get lasered in the back by you. Oh, great. Great. Just put out some more lasers, would you? Please. So right now, Turiel's might not doing much, right? Because we're essentially having too much like damage taken, and we're too weak. Definitely feeling the lack of cooldown reduction in between. All right, because you want to have the cooldown reduction, you want to be able to spam your abilities more. So gotta consider getting the free corpse cast in. I mean, it was like thinking if we could play this without Decrepify, but we probably have to get Decrepify back in. I still want to keep it this way at this point. Like, right, we're not gonna panic put Decrepify in here right now. I mean, if we're not having a single point of mage damage, so we're not having any skeletal mage damage temperings, okay? Like zero skeletal mage damage temperings. This is me literally playing my golem gear for skeletal mages. And yet here we are. Oh, great. The butcher again. Butcher's a great way to like burn through burn through all your potions. And yet, yes, Necro's greatest weakness, chat, the butcher. I am sorry. Necro's greatest weakness. The dude that is made to kill you. Interesting how much damage would be taken if we're not going for Barrier. Seems like I would have to force myself to actually play Barium to like in Infernal Hordes, right? To have the to use the Turiel's Mind. Because I'm like, we're noticing you're taking a lot of damage, right? You're taking a lot of proxy damage, so a lot of things are just hitting you without you being able to like kind of prevent that. So we're like just taking a lot of proxy damage. The Butcher hates Necro. It's more that the Necro just doesn't have anything to counter the Butcher, right? So like I get butchered, and if I don't have Blood Mist ready straight away, I'm just stunned and I die. So because Blood Mist is like my only thing to do this. Oh no, the Butcher. And since they nerfed how Blood Mist actually calculates the cooldown, I couldn't be going into the Blood Mist anytime soon again. So we're kind of like in that position where we get butchered, and then we're just simply at the mercy of getting butchered. Right? And well, yeah, and then he ignores obviously all the minions, so he just butchers you because that's what the Butcher does. Butchering around. Surprised my minions would be doing so much damage despite the complete lack of minion damage multipliers. We're gonna test this in the pit as well. So for Infernal Hordes, notice without like with minions, but without like with Tyrael's Might, but without the actual use of a barrier production, any kind of barrier production, you're essentially like at the problem where you just get killed. Farake, thank you for the 97 months of support, Farake. Fantastic to have you there. Pleasure. Does barrier help with Tyraels? Yes, that's the whole point, right? Barrier helps with Tyraels because they just keeps you alive. The thing is, you don't need a barrier in the pit because in the pit you can just avoid the damage and you have more heal. So the barrier would only be again needed for Infernal Hordes, right? So like, because if we compare this now to the pit, so let's go into the pit 101 with the build. Again, only golem damage, no mage damage. Break, I was in Greece for 7 days. So 7 nights, 8 days. It was kind of cool. I mean, when you stepped out of the airplane, 38 degrees straight away in your face. Let's summon this. I see right now I can avoid the damage better. So no hassle, no problems, right? Like staying healthy is no issue at all. And I can just spam my potions, right? If I'm not staying healthy, I can just spam my potions because I know everything gives me potions back. The amount of corpses you're having is ridiculous. And the Infernal Hordes with like the limited healing and everything. Yeah, barrier at least for the mage build seems mandatory. I mean, again, for this, right? You like whatevs. I just summon I summon the Skeletal Priest, right? I get healed periodically. Dibbity stab, stab. And then you're just really positively blasting everything away. Tyrael's Might is kind of nice. And again, we're not having the crown currently, chat. So the crown is missing to empower us even more. I'm not sure if it's even worth it to make like an Infernal Horde specific build. That's currently like the thing, right? So we're thinking about like what do you need for builds? Well, you need a build that kills tormented bosses, correct? Check. Then you need a build that essentially can clear the pit for pit materials. Check. And technically you would need also a build that can do Infernal Hordes, but right now with Infernal Hordes not being worth it, you would actually not need that. All right, why bother getting a build that can clear Infernal Hordes when, let me check my nodes. It's not even worth it. Scarrick, don't make a clickbait title. Well, Scarrick, I don't know if you've seen the news, watched the patch notes or not. This is not a clickbait title. The Bone Spirit build is the best possible build, the 100% best possible build for Season 5. I'm sorry. This is not me like making this up on the fly. It is just a fact. All the Necro creators agree. Like it's literally what it is. I'm sorry that hurts your feelings or anything, and like it's just the simple truth of the matter. There will be, so far as it stands, no better build than Bone Spirit for Necro in season 5. That doesn't mean that you have to play Bone Spirit. It's just like literally what it is. I mean, you still have the choice, right? You can still play minions like we're playing here right now. So the Bone Spirit build. Depot, good to see you there. Howdy. Is there a tier list for the class in the PDR currently? What do you mean? What's the best class, Barb? I don't understand your question. have you not played Diablo in the past seasons? That being said, Druid can actually do trillions of damage currently. So not barbillions, Chad. Yeah, you heard me right. There is currently a bug. I don't know what the bug actually entails and how the bug exactly works, but Druid, for some reason, obscure reason, can do trillions. Like actual trillions, not like, haha, trillions. No, like actual trillions. That's kind of funny. Rogues are going to be very competitive. I mean, Rogue is great, but Rogue needs actual skill to be played. Now, I'm not saying that Barb doesn't need skill to be played, but... like, if you want to excel with Rogue, you actually get to play that class, right? You get to make sure that things are going down like the way you want them to go down, and you get to be like cool, and you get to avoid some stuff and like flit around, and you know, like actually you get to play the Rogue, you know, as it's meant to be played, essentially. Whereas, yeah, I mean, Barb with a certain level of itemization just becomes silly. And that level of itemization is not actually that much. But I wouldn't call Barb hard to play. I am sorry. I don't wanna be mean to anyone that feels Barb is hard. New camera? No, I just changed the color filter to like just have like a clearer picture. But yeah. But Rogue is definitely going to be strong. Like I'm not against that. I like Rogue. I have to say Rogue has been from a challenge standpoint, so from strength versus skill needed to play. Rogue feels like the Necro, right? So Necro is generally not the hardest to play in the base setup getup, but it is one of the more challenging ones to play good in juggling your cooldowns and everything and staying alive, especially in staying alive because you just have no leeway, right? Poor Necro just doesn't have means to stay alive. You either stand where the explosion is or you don't. No class will ever compete compared to Barb. Like we don't actually want to compare to Barb, right? This is very important. So again, Barb can stay at the strength level it is. I don't mind the Barb strength level. Okay. Oh no, did my minions now get into the fight? Minions! Okay, and now the boss should be fixed, right? The boss shouldn't be broken. Why are you ignoring my minions, sir? Shouldn't be doing that. Dude, this is right now like minions, essentially like this minion build without me actually having the gear for it, right? Like keep that in mind. I don't have the gear for this build. I'm literally not have a single skeletal mage damage multiplier. Right? And yet it is feeling very, very good this season, especially with the shadement aspect. So you kind of see like how my thing is always active. So it feels very good. I mean, Golem's stronger, but this is me like playing the mage build with no mage damage, no mage damage, no mage damage, no mage damage. Oh, and yes, you guessed right, no mage damage. The only thing I have is Skeletal Mages cast twice. In my PDR, my rogue is 127k attack power, yet can't best tier 90 pit. That's because attack power says nothing. Attack power is the most useless stat in existence. So you have attack power, but your attack power is wasted. Like it's like, wow, you get attack power? If you want to see something. So that was just the Skeletal Mages now, which do feel powerful enough, especially with the changes. So we have the Shade Mist now going on. We get the Frenzied. I think I would drop the Frenzied probably. We could drop the Frenzied in the long run. Not right now. Right now, it wouldn't work. I could go one-handed and two-handed to get the curse aspect. Because right now, I need to stay healthy, right? I need the bonus. I could drop hardened bones, technically, because we have the damage reduction here. So we could actually drop hardened bones to get the curse. So that would probably be the easiest way to do this. So hardened bones for curse. Let's try this out. If attack power is useless, why do they use Scythe? Logan, it's not about the attack power. It's about the max damage. So all the damage your minions does, all the damage they do, everything they do gets calculated off your base thingy. So I have 4,903 damage per hit, right? And that base damage is then multiplying up. If I now take a one-handed weapon, that's that. That has nothing to do with attack power. My attack power is 13,000, so I have 13,000 attack power. And yet, my golem, for some reason, can do 1 billion plus critical strike damage. How does that make sense? Oh yeah, because attack power means nothing, obviously. Attack power is a nice value that doesn't in any way, like, say how much damage you are actually dealing, right? It's just literally like, oh, you have attack power? That's cool. I have attack power too. Let's measure our attack power to see who has the bigger attack power going on. Oh, did I mention that it like doesn't do anything or mean anything? Yeah, it doesn't. So it's really like attack power gets calculated by taking like your crit damage and your attack speed and kind of like adding everything together. But it just misses out on the fine things because it's just literally adding these kind of things up, and it's technically could be attack power could be translated to a certain amount of DPS, but attack power also misses out on certain elements that like, you know, that you get like another multiplier if someone is stunned. That's what it's not telling you then, and you're suddenly doing like so much damage against a frozen enemy, so it's also not factoring in your damage versus a frozen enemy, right? Because the enemy ain't frozen there right now, so your attack power is like inaccurate anyways, and stuff like that. So again, attack power is like something for ego padding if you want then to be ego padding, but it's really not having any conclusive statement about the strength of your character. And if you have a lot of attack power, but you're not able to do something, it might just simply be a build issue. I mean, they nerf Victimize Rogue, for example. So if you are playing Heartseeker / Victimize Rogue, and you wonder why you suddenly feel weaker, that is because you are actually weaker. Since Heartseeker was double dipping, or Victimize was double dipping on certain values, that it was dealing twice the damage that it should deal, it does now do less damage, so not twice the damage, and that makes you weaker. But again, don't take my word for it. If you don't want to believe me, just ask another creator. You know, like go to Mr. Macrobio Boy, who's actually working for Maxroll, right? A reputable site that does stuff, like not some random hobo nobo creator that you have never heard about on Twitch, right? Maxroll, that one site that everyone trusts, and ask him what he thinks about attack power. Don't trust me. Why would you trust me? I'm just feeding you lies and bullshit for my own personal gain, right? Because there's some weird personal gain from not telling you the truth, I guess.
I need more time.
Have you tried Terrace Land? Well, I've been on vacation now, the past 7 days. So the next thing we're doing is actually Shadow of the Erdtree. I mean, as Diablo Season 4 is nearing its life cycle end, right? I mean, for me, Season 4 is like kind of over. I did everything I could do in Season 4. There's nothing much more to get done. Like, right, we're in the last drags. Twitch also doesn't want to watch Diablo anymore. So we're kind of like at the point where, again, like this season was good, but like that's like kind of it for this season. We got the PDR now to test quite some things to see like what actually does work, like what could be something to be possible to be played. I mean, we know the Bone Spirit build is going to be absolutely insane, so that's kind of like cool to look forward to. We know that minions still work, so that's nice. I mean, like right now, would I still level with minions? Yeah, nothing has changed. I mean, if you're not leveling with Necro minions, you're just literally doing it wrong, because Necro minions are still like just the thing that will make leveling so much easier, that will like allow you to blast through any piece of content over any other build. Just due to the stupid simplicity of the build and the like very low investment in making it powerful. It's always going to be considered what you need. I mean, in order to have, for example, the Skeletal Mage build as powerful as it could be right here, right now, you really want Tyrael's Might. And if you don't have Tyrael's Might, it's just weaker. I mean, playable, right? But without Tyrael's Might, the Golem build is just better. Because your one advantage of having the mages and then being able to spam like the Corpse Explosion away, for example, is just simply having this Tyrael's Might equipped to be able to spam it away. So how's the damage compared with Blighted? I mean, you're literally having 150% or no, 140% multiplicative damage less. Okay? Right now, my damage is 140% lower than it could be because of the Blighted nerf. And that's too much. Like, you can't... So you can play the same build that you played in Season 4, okay? The absolute same build without changing anything. And you would just simply do 140% multiplicative damage less. And that doesn't feel very good, right? Especially because the nerf was done to technically make Blighted not be a must-have choice. The problem is Necromancer has nothing equivalent to Blighted. So they're making Blighted not a must-have choice, and what you're then gonna do to substitute Blighted is play some random shit aspect which doesn't do anything for you. so like, hey Chad, so listen, how about we're giving you, like, we're making it so that you don't actually have to play Blighted, okay? But the alternative is that you play something useless that you don't need. Aren't you making up for the damage with any new tag? No? How would you? How would I get 140% damage? What would give me 140% damage? Where would I get that much damage from? I mean, like, see, like, the damage is still incredible on this build. The way we made it work. And this is not even like the maximum damage this build can do, right? So this is like the lowest damage I can do with this right now. Okay, let me explain. What did Blizzard do? So you're technically able to make up for the build. And now let me say, how can we make up for the damage? So our Blighted aspect is now only doing 100% instead of 240%, okay? 140% less. How can I make up for this? I can get an item, and the item is called the Crown of Ribbity Robbity. So, in order to get back to my old damage values, I have to play the Crown of... Crown of Lucian. The Crown of Lucian would give me another 125% multiplicative damage, if and only if the Crown of Lucian is actually going over to mages. Because right now it says each time you spend primary resource on a skill, you gain 25% increased damage, but 25% increased resource cost. Doesn't matter, right? This can stack up to 5 times, so 125% multiplicative damage plus. This 125 multiplicative damage plus. It's going to get nerfed because it's too much, okay? The problem is that the ranks and core skills are completely useless for me. So again, max life, ranks and core skills, lucky hit chance, maximum resource. Useless, absolutely useless. So only the 125% damage multiplier. Ergo, in order to do the same damage I've done before, I need another unique crown. Okay, cool. But the problem is that I lose 7 ranks in Skeletal Warrior Mastery, so I'm going to lose some damage there as well. Plus, I am losing another aspect. In this case, I would be losing either the Auto Curse or I would be losing the Bloodgetters aspect. If I lose the Bloodgetters aspect, we are actually going to take another 51% damage loss. So we're getting 125% bonus damage to make up for the 140% loss, to actually lose another 51%. Not 51%, it's 21%. So to lose another 21%. So we're losing 161% in total. That means we're still shy of 40% damage loss, right? Plus the 7 ranks in Skeletal Warrior Mastery, and 7 ranks in Skeletal Warrior Mastery, with each rank being 15%, is also another loss in damage. So we're actually losing more damage. Now that's not it, because there's another necklace. Okay, chat, there's a new interesting necklace. Which means that you could be playing Lochran's Amulet. Where's Lochran right now? Let's go over here. So you could be playing something that is called Lochran. And Lochran's Amulet is kind of cool because it's working multiplicative as well. This says we get 50% critical strike chance, okay? 50% critical strike chance. At each point of primary resource above 100 grants 1% critical strike damage. This 1% critical strike damage currently is multiplicative. What? Yes. So we would need 2 more uniques to essentially make up for the damage lost. Now, if we do that, if we take this for the multiplicative damage, for the damage lost, we would lose Hellbound Commander. So that would be 5 ranks of Hellbound Commander gone, which essentially means that every rank of Hellbound Commander is 10% more damage. So that is another 50% multiplicative damage lost for getting 50% multiplicative damage bonus. What? What? So yeah, that all factoring in, we're now weaker than we have ever been before. We're not horrendously weak, right? We're not useless. We're not like the weakest in existence. No, it's like it still works, kinda, somewhat. We just lost some power. And it's just too much because again, it's 140% damage, and not like it's not plus 140% damage lost, right? So let's assume you would be let's assume your skeleton mages did do 5 million damage per hit. Okay, 5 million damage per hit, and then you got the plus 240x, right? And 240x is 3.4, right? So you like times 3.4 damage. So you would like have been doing vastly more, right? That was what Shadow Blight did. Cool. But now we're only getting, like, if we do it on a one-handed weapon, right? If we do it on one-handed weapons, we get times 1.5. So we would lose 10 million damage per hit. And that's on the lowest calculation possible, right? And that would be only your mages, right? So we lose 10 million per hit on the mages. Then we're losing per hit damage on the warriors as well. And the warriors are doing like 2 million damage per hit. So they do 2 million damage per hit, right? Times 3.4, which get like, right? That was then 4.8 per skeleton. Okay, per skeleton, right? So 10 million damage per skeleton. We have 5 mages, so we are losing 50 million damage, roughly, correct? Plus then we have 6 warriors, and the 6 warriors is now also just 2 million per hit times 1.5. So we're losing another 3.8 million per warrior, and we have 6 warriors. So that's all, like, plus all the damage you're losing for like your Tyrael's Might not going as high as possible and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I was thinking about using the new aspect of Creeping Death. The problem is HF with the aspect of Creeping Death and all the other things. I mean, you have now the aspect of Shade Mist, and the aspect of Shade Mist is actually really cool. Because again, Shade Mist kind of like gives you another source of cool shadow damage, right? So that's actually nice. But again, all these things they're just not even getting, like, all the new things are not even getting you back to where you used to be. right? They're not even getting you back where you used to be. Oh, I just bumped into the wall. Or chat didn't mean to bump into the wall. I think it's working like really nice to get everything destroyed. But we're getting like a bunch of sad-eyed. Oh, that's a 3. Oh, 3 to bone scales. Chat, look. You know what the worst part is? That this item needs a high roll on bone scales, a high roll on bone prison cooldown reduction, and it needs to have the most amount of splinters, or it's virtually useless. It's actually like that, right? Virtually useless. It's going to be interesting to see how they buff health from below, though, because they promised to buff a lot of these gloves, right? And this glove is a corpse explosion main glove, so that should actually go from 40 up to 80% to be somewhat useful. It's a huge problem, I agree. Trying to look at the glass half full. I mean, the glass half full means we can still play. So, Golem Necro, playable. Skeleton Mage Necro, slightly better. Simple matter of fact, the Mage Necro is now slightly better than the Golem Necro. If I am currently clearing roughly at the speed of my Golem Necro with the inferior build and with a multiplier not working. So chat, look at this. The Gloom, that when you damage enemies with darkness skills, they take increased shadow damage from you and your minions. Okay. If I damage enemies, they should be taking more damage, right? So that's Gloom. That's an 18% multiplier. Now, let's do a little test, okay? Let's do a little test. I'm going to be kicking out. Every single mage, and I'm going to kick out every single warrior. Now my warriors are essentially, like, if I have a warrior that does 1,226 shadow damage per second, right? I mean, that warrior now should technically... Let's get one warrior. So he does now like a cool damage aura, correct? We're going to... Boss training dummy. So he hits for 77,000, right? And he has this shadow damage over time thingy. Wait, I need to display more damage numbers. Normal damage and critical and overpowered damage out. Right? He like this is just this is the take. He does 3,235. Right? That's what he's dealing. That is now the Shade Mist being multiplied up by certain things. Correct? That's what he's dealing per second. And if the Shadow Blight triggers, he does more. So it's 3,235, right? And if the Shadow Blight here triggers, because he triggers the Shadow Blight, obviously, right? And now at 10 stacks, it goes by 100%. So this is 100% bigger, like while this is triggering, and you see it's 6,470. So that works, correct? Now, if I do a darkness skill. So when you damage enemies with darkness skills, they take 6% increased shadow damage from you and your minions for 2 seconds. Now, if I would take a darkness skill, and let's, for the sake of it, just use Sever instead of damage over time, right? Then we should be stacking that up, right? But that 3,235 doesn't get higher. Only when this is happening, correct? So I'm using Sever. I'm using a darkness skill. But the 3,235 stays like 302,035. correct? So what's happening there? How like where, right? And if that, for example, now gets fixed, and another thing, so there's a cool something, and it's called the aspect of the damned. This aspect says you deal 50% increased shadow damage to enemies afflicted by any curse. Now it says you deal, correct? But this you deal should go over to your minions. So if I deal 50% more shadow damage multiplicative, then my minions should deal 50% shadow damage multiplicative too. Ergo, the shade mist here should get multiplied up as well. And if you're and since it says your minions deal shadow damage, right? So this shadow damage here, this 1,226 shadow damage, okay? You know what it should get multiplied up by? It should get multiplied up by your warrior multiplier. Increase the damage and life of your warriors. Because it says your minions deal. Right? Listen. Your minions deal. Your minions deal. I'm reading this. I'm not stupid, right? I'm not stupid, chat. It says your minions deal. So it should be 1,200 times my warrior damage, which is 2.25. So it's 3.25. So that's that. Then that's 4,000 damage, correct? Well, interestingly enough, we have the cult leader, right? So you have cult leader going on. So cult leader is now here in the Paragon board. Whoop, we're zooming out. So cult leader is another, my minions deal another 150% damage multiplier. So that should now be another 2.5, correct? So they already should do 10,000 damage around them. Then we're having my minions are dealing 40% more damage. Cool. Again, 40% more damage. So times 1.4. Now the Shadow Blight key passive should trigger, as it does actually trigger, right? So it's times 2. 27,000. Then when I play Army of the Dead and my minions get damage increase, that should actually factor in too, because my minions deal more damage. But let's say that doesn't factor in. We're fine about it. The Skeletal Priest, though, should count, right? Skeletal Priest is another 30% more damage plus 21% more damage. So that is another times 1.51. We're at 42,000. That's kind of cool. So all of my minions should actually do 42,000 damage around them, correct? Now, if we consider that the enemy would actually take more shadow damage from this, right? The gloom should be working. So that's another 18%. So that should be 1.18. That was what I expecting. Then if the enemy is stunned, that should be another 18%. So that would be times 1.18 again. So that's already 60,000. So all of my skeletal warriors should actually do 60,000 damage per second. Oh, wait, we forgot Hellbang Commanders, right? While you control at least 7 minions, your minions deal 80% more damage. So that means that this should get another plus 1.8. So technically, all your minions should deal 105 damage, 105,000 damage per tick per second while they're standing around this target, right? All my lads, they're standing around here, they're bashing away, right? But the reality is that they're not doing that. Right, they're ticking like we're both, so like I think we're seeing like a, I don't know what kind of tick, like I don't know like which tick is the tick, right? That's the problem. So yeah, they're not doing that. I think it's the 5,000 tick here currently. Then the tick crit notes damage over time. So your minions deal damage per second. Damage per second means damage over time, so it can't crit. That doesn't, that's like not the problem. So like again, with all these things, that's what we would expect. The damage is like Ring of Mendeln. Oh, it is obviously that the damage is like the Ring of Mendeln, Michael, and it's not scaling off your minions. But that's stupid. Because it says your minions deal 1,226 shadow damage per second. Right? Surely Any sane person would expect it to work the way that I just calculated for you, which would make the Shade Mist aspect make up for the damage lost. Because that's the crazy part. If we now consider the Shadow Blight to be as strong as it used to be, we're missing 140,000 damage. That means this damage times another 2.4. So we would expect them to do 250,000. That's 250,000, right? 250 per second per minion. That means if my 6 warriors are essentially standing, or even if my 11 minions stand around there, I think they get more ticks per second. I think they get 2 or 3 ticks per second. So it would be times, worst case scenario with the warriors, times 6. So this is the damage times 6. And since we're getting 2 ticks per second or 3 ticks per second, I'm not entirely sure, that would be times 2 ticks per second. So you would expect like 3 million DPS per second. And that's not even factoring in all the multipliers. So this is the base damage we would be expecting, which is not considering any which is not considering the 0.4 of the 1.5 here, the 0.20 there, the 0.15, the 1.15, the 1.10 we have here, the 1.15 we have of this, right? The actual like 10% we have from there, and the other 10%. So even with this, right? So if that would actually work now, though, even without these, so even if we like lose the 2.4, so right, even if we lose the 2.4, that really is like crazy, right? So even if we lose the 2.4, again, we would still be sitting at 1 million DPS just on top of your minions. So just from the aspect, right? So this wouldn't consider your minions hitting, your minions critting, your minions attacking, your minions exist. So this would be bonus DPS on top of what we do. And that would actually make up for the Blighted nerf. Correct? And then we're good. Then I'm not complaining. But you know what then is stupid? So I wouldn't be complaining. But they literally said that they nerfed the Blighted aspect to introduce more variety. What they did, though, is they forced every single minion build then to play the Shade Mist ring. So it's like, listen, wait, where's the patch? Let's find the patch. I mean, we're not trying to bash Blizzard, so this is like very important, right? I'm not trying to be mean to Blizzard in any way. Where's like the season 5 PDR patch notes here currently, right? So we had the PDR, Unholy Tether, Shadow Blight. So, right? Blighted aspect has been disproportionately large source of damage for Shadow Blight based necromancers. With Shadow Blight necromancers, we're talking about Infinimist, Blight build, Shadow Mages, Golem, Necro, then technically any overpower build that's also playing Shadow Blight, right? Even the Bone Spirit build has a way to play Shadow Blight. Every single Corpse Explosion build, like actually the Bone Spear minion build also playing that. So every single Necro build, giving far more power than we normally give for a single aspect. I would agree to this if I didn't know what Barbarian has for aspects. Okay, thank you. To compensate for this change, we are increasing the baseline power of the Darkness core skills and Shadow Blight with the goal of keeping these builds at approximately the same power level, which is bullshit. So the thought is that nerfing this from 120% to 50%, again, which is a 70% nerf, due to the Shade Mist aura now existing, you could trigger Shadow Blight so often that that would make up for the damage lost, which it doesn't. Which it doesn't, by the way. But by nerfing this, you're forcing every minion build to play the Shade Mist aura. So you're kind of like have a one aspect that gives disproportionately too much damage, and you're essentially forcing them to play a ring that would then still use the same skill, this one, to deal then again disproportionately large sources of damage. But without these disproportional large sources of damage, Necromancer is virtually useless. Or a lot of builds are virtually useless. They're making use of a very specific combination of gear to make up for the damage loss. Yeah, but you're not making up for the damage loss. You know? If this would now make up for the damage loss, if the calculations would be correct, then we could agree. But as it stands right now, every build, every Necro build just lost 140% multiplicative damage. I think it would be okay. So this is right now 100% bonus. If you nerf this from 120% down to 80%, I think that would be okay. We can all agree that the 120 is maybe a bit too much. 80. 90? 80 or 90? But 50? 50? No? Right? So that's something we're hardcore pushing back on to get things in check. So Shadow Mages are working. We have proven it. I'm kind of like really happy with the Shadow Mages right now. Do we have by chance attack speed rings? So let me check this. The problem is like this build is currently only working because I'm running exactly the attack speed rings I have. Do I have no Mage Mastery gloves? Do I have Mage Mastery gloves maybe? They're so much weaker than what I have here. It's like, I have the perfect gear for this build. I just can't use it. Would you use a Bone Storm with this, chat? What do you think right now? So there's a world where I could use a Bone Storm, but the problem is if I use a Bone Storm, I mean, I could also cut the Army of the Dead and just put the curse in, and then we have another aspect slot free, which we probably have to do. But right now the curse aura just feels better, and I can use Army of the Dead. I'm just like somehow considering, is there a way how I could get Barrier? But no. You check this ring power with only... Oh yeah, we wanted to check one thing. By the way, we checked the ring power with only one minion. We already did. Okay. There's one thing we wanted to check. A very important thing, actually. I need my... Where is it now? Who of you frigging nerds has it? I think she has it. Okay. That is... No, where's my Ring of Starless? There it is. Okay, so we have a Ring of Starless Skies. And there's an interesting consideration, which wouldn't help at all. Okay? So we're going to take him. And we would be going for the aspect of the Great Feast. And by the way, Blizzard thought that this aspect, so this here, Great Feast, would make up for the damage loss here. The problem is with the aspect of the Great Feast, I would have to play the aspect of the Great Feast plus the Shadement aspect to kind of in any way get something. And this would ruin my chance to play Blind. So if I play the aspect of the Great Feast, I would be losing so much essence, right? I would be losing so much essence that I can't play Blight anymore. That means I lose a 20% damage multiplier for getting a 45% damage multiplier. So I would only get a 25% damage multiplier. Kind of stupid, right? But what we want to test right now is if I use the aspect of the Great Feast, okay? So this is the aspect of the Great Feast where my minions deal 45% damage, but it drains essence for me. If I get essence drained, and this is now like the interesting part, does it work with the Starless Skies? Because the Ring of Starless Skies says, spending your primary resource reduces the resource cost of your skills and increases your damage by 10% for 3 seconds. Your minions have increased damage, but each one drains 1 essence from you per second. So technically, does the drain count as a spend? The answer is most likely not, but would we like to know this? So right now we're having like our essence being drained from us because we have no minions, correct? And the essence being drained from us does not in any way trigger the ring. Core skills, it doesn't say core skills, Mantis. They changed it. They changed it. It doesn't say core skills anymore. If I get a minion now, we're getting the 1 essence drain per second, and that essence drain essentially is not giving us the bonus damage. Right? If I now use a non-core skill, like Corpse Explosion, we're instantly should be getting the Starless Skies. I know we're not spending primary resource for this, right? So if we actually do use our Blight, we get instantly Starless Skies, right? Because we use Blight. So they changed it. But the drain doesn't count as spending resource. So that one is out of the window. Because some people have been theorizing that this could work, but it says spend. So spend is a hard carbon copy word there. I mean, that being said, like Blizzard is not like known for actually sticking to wordings and everything. So that's why we have to check these things. They lie. Can you bring items from live server to PDR? No, only everything that was on the moment where the live server got created. Okay. So that's Shade Mist back in action. Build is good. I like it. Let's do another pit 100 because I just want to see, you know, how it feels. I'm really do be enjoying this build. I mean, Tyrion's Might also makes you like so safe from elemental damage, which is kind of like a scam. Get everything together. I just say Tyrion's Might is a stupid power item. I never thought like Tyrell's Might was that strong, but they actually buffed it. So what did they buff about Tyrell's Might? Oh, they gave it 100% more damage, chat. You know, so the Tyrell's Might that shoots like these cool lasers out. Because it wasn't like strong enough. They gave it another 100% damage boost. So it now does even more damage. Oh, and yes, the things that come out of Tyrell's Might, they were getting boosted as well by the aspect of the Blighted aspect. So also the Tyrell's Might, which was actually strong, get nerfed by proxy. Like a lot of things actually get nerfed. It's almost like nothing in Necro is not nerfed, right? Everything in Necro, everything you have been using, like the you know the Ring of Mendeln, which already was useless last season. That Ring of Mendeln. So the Ring of Mendeln used to only scale damage-wise off you, okay, off you, which kind of made it already useless. But you could kind of make it work by using the Blighted aspect. So the Blighted aspect kind of made the Ring of Mendeln somewhat worth it. Well, now that the Blighted aspect is nerfed and not worth it anymore, technically, the Ring of Mendeln is double worthless. The same goes for Ixfeld's Corroded Signet. So Ixfeld's Corroded Signet was good because of the Blighted aspect, useless now too. The Cold Bringers aspect that was kind of fun to have your mages do blizzards, also useless now. So it's almost like that everything in the Necro, or 90% of the stuff in the Necro, was actually working because of the Blighted aspect, which kind of makes me wonder if everything in the Necro is too weak. I mean, like, think about it, right, chat? So if there are so many things in Necromancer that were only viable because of the Blighted aspect. Okay, it's good to see you there. If that is now nerfed, like, and barely anything is left viable, what does that say about the Necro and the class design again, right? What does that tell us? There seems to be some inherent flaws, right? What is Elden Ring time? There's going to be very soon Elden Ring time. I mean, I wanted to test out some things on the test servers, right? But we all know that Diablo is currently right now on the down train again. So very soon, I just got to consider how I want to pull out the YouTube videos, like, right, how we're going to do the live streams on YouTube, which build I'm essentially going to play, because that plays a role. And we're obviously going to go for like a 100% discovery spree to like really find out every single secret that the Earth Tree has to offer. So it's going to be very interesting and very nice journey. So that's probably what we're going to spend our next week completely on. And you're going to be expecting a lot of Shadow of the Earth Tree videos on the channel as well. I mean, I know everyone and their mom probably made a video about everything already, but I don't care. I'll still do it myself, right? Because I'll do it better. How's life good, sir? But very, very good. I mean, I just came back from vacation, missed out on the Earth Tree release, missed out on the PDR release. In case of Diablo, it wasn't actually that hurtful, right, for the channel. So missing out on the PDR release was kind of like, well, that's unfortunate. Missing out on the Shadow of the Earth Tree release is literally financially big nuisance. That being said, no one like, right? No one ever said we can't be making good videos. Still. But using blood orbs increases 30 damage, not good anymore. You can't use the blood orbs. That's the problem. So the blood orbs was a nice fantasy with the blood begets in season 4, and it actually worked in season 4. The problem with the blood orbs in season 5 is right now that they made uniques good again, and Blizzard essentially said that they would like every build to be running 2 to 4 uniques. So they're making uniques so strong that uniques are an option again. And every build optimally is going to run 2 to 4 uniques, but with the amount of uniques that every build can now run, because uniques are finally useful again, we're getting to the point that more obscure strategies, like, you know, essentially running the Blood Begets, which was useful in Season 4, is now not an option anymore, because it was like if I get a unique item that now gives me the option to boost my damage by 100% multiplicative, why would I then try to incorporate any kind of, you know, blood shebang that is at best optional, where I could take a unique that like always works, right? So bringing us back to, yep, sure, Blood Begets get buffed for blood builds, but now using that as Shadow build as well is also not an option anymore, because there's just better stuff out there. So another kind of build variety ruined. Where vacation have we been to? We have been to Greece, to the Pelopons. Jesus Christ. Even after being there now and like having like we're still unable to say the name of the island. Pelopons, I think. Yeah. So it's been an interesting experience. I've always been a fan of Greece. Greek people are nice people, usually. Right? So yeah, the blood orbs are not working, sadly, anymore. Oh shit, I forgot I need to run out of this. But is it still bugged? We should be fine. Because you're not allowed to shoot like shadow things at me because you're kind of like ruining all the fun. Like he's literally like the anti like boss to the build we're playing here, because he's essentially shooting like his shit at me and forcing me to use potions like that, right? And keeping me away from being 100% healthy. Which is essentially hard countering me when you're keeping me away from being 100% healthy. Wait, why am I not getting the boss multipliers? Huh? What did I miss, chat? Like, or was my buff bar so long that no, they would be? Why didn't I get the multipliers? Was it darkness damage? No, it was just overall all damage that was double dipping on Necro very nicely. So the double dipping that was happening was just normal all damage. Just going crazy. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're doing a disproportional low amount of damage to him, lower than we should. Oops. Like lower than we did to the last boss, which is kind of weird. Is the pit where you get the best weapons? No, technically you could get the best weapons just from like booping an enemy over. The pit is not even good for farming equipment. For farming equipment, you go into the Helltide. So there's technically like different like locations for like where you get the best levels of gear. But technically the Helltide is what you do for gear. Because the Helltide is like most gear per second. I think that's the value we'd be using, gear per second. Pit is actually quite terrible for that, if we're honest. Now, what I would like to know is the shadow aura. If you're standing close to someone, is it continuously doing staggers? Because technically you're standing next to someone, right? And technically you're just continuously applying the actual stagger, right? I mean, you're like curse. Like he's like standing in a perma curse aura. So is he actually getting permanently staggered from that? But also, why am I not getting the damage buffs? Is he not applying the damage buffs? That was funny. I could heal just out of this. If you have a lot of steel, Grigars, you go to loot farm. Yes. What's your take on the Hellbound Commander change? Oh, it's a great change. Like, I mean, cutting into damage is never good, right? I mean, they lowered this from a, what was it again? I think I would be at 105% damage or so, or 110% damage, or 100. I would be at way more damage than I am right now. So they lowered Hellbound Commander, yes, but now it's always active. So considering that you never had Hellbound Commander always active because you never always were next to every minion, I do believe that Hellbound Commander with this change now is super DPS. Especially since you don't have to stand close to your minions anymore. This is on the other hand stupid. So they changed Hellbound Commander that you don't have to be close to your minions, okay? But what happened? Okay? What happened? They introduced the Curse Aura. So they made Hellbound Commander not have you stand close to your minions, but now you have to stand close to your enemies to have the curse aura work. Yeah. Good talk. Right? Oh. Oh.
I'm not ready yet.
What I wanted to know is, though, let's say I'm taking a boss target dummy. So the thing is, if I now take this, okay, and you curse, it does 17 stagger, 3 stagger, 1.93 stagger, 2.13 stagger. So I can essentially keep cursing, right? And you always get like a minuscule amount of stagger, right? Cool. But what happens now if I'm essentially walking up to this with the aura? That's 1 stagger. So by using the aura, we're efficiently getting less stagger. Because you are applying... So it says you automatically curse enemies around you with the Decrepifying Iron Maiden, right? So I go in, right? We curse this. Curse inflicted this way spreads surrounding targets every 3 seconds and last for... See, that was another application now. So essentially what happens is that we're getting 1 stagger every 10 seconds. Is that every 10 seconds right now? I would say so, right? Because the application of curse would be 10 seconds. It would be on for... Oh, no, for 16 seconds, actually. Yep. So it would be less damage for 16 seconds. And then every 16 seconds... So if I actually do have this and I'm like continuously cursing like a madman, right? So I'm continuously cursing and then I'm like essentially like summoning stuff, right? And we're going like places and then I curse and I curse and I curse and then I curse more. I'm actually doing net total way more staggers. So if I'm essentially like spamming my curse and my like you know, if I do my curse every X seconds, I'm like doing more because I'm essentially just cursing the shit out of them, right? Interesting. I mean, I would assume so, but oh god. So many things, chat. So many things. Intriguing. Well, today we figured out Bone Spirit is truly the S tier build. So from all the builds we have played, Bone Spirit is the best in pitting right now. That being said, so Bone Spirit is the best at pushing furthest. But, a very big but, despite Bone Spirit being so good, Minions is still easier to achieve. It's very weird. We're in a very weird spot where Minions is weaker than Bone Spirit, but Bone Spirit needs a tons of equipment and you need to play that in a specific way. And Minions is still the easiest build to just play through, and the Shadow builds get ruined, and the overpower builds are not good enough. So you're essentially right now at a strong minion build that is weaker than it is still in Season 4. And your power level compared to all the other classes is 10 times lower. Weird. Absolutely weird. Well, that's intriguing to know, chat. And I'd say we're going to end it here then for today. And tomorrow we're maybe going to do Shadow of the Erdtree. Haven't decided yet about that. I wish you all a grand good day, a grand good night, a grand good evening. Thank you for coming and watching, lurking and chatting, hanging out, and hopefully having a good time. And I'll be seeing you all tomorrow again. Until then, have a good one.